love you, love you. I do need you. Ooh, I love you, I do need you.
Dreams collide in sleepless nights. Stars explode through blinding lights. Victories found in the fight. I'm on top, my soul ignites. Life's a game, we learn the rules. Twist and turn like misfit fools. Through the pain we break the chains. Find the win through loss and gains. I've got a heart that's never quitting. In this race I'm always sprinting. Feel the power, victory sings. Born to conquer, spread my wings. Castles built on hope's foundation. Rivers run with pure elation. Through the storm I'll find my way. Triumph shines like break of day. Tides may turn but I remain. Steady, strong, won't yield to pain. In the end the truth will show. Strength and heart, the seeds we sow. I've got a heart that's never quitting. In this race I'm always sprinting. Feel the power, victory sings. Born to conquer, spread my wings. Tides may turn, but I remain. Steady, strong, won't yield to pain. In the end, the truth will show. Strength and heart, the seeds we sow. I've got a heart that's never quitting. In this race, I'm always sprinting. Feel the power, victory sings. Born to conquer, spread my wings.
themselves to the waves of time. We're trying to repent before you sin. It's like giving up before you begin. Stars were dancing in their light, past that we could never run. Oh, they were dancing way up high. Stars were dancing in their light, future we will never run. Dirt on our feet was bone dry, it was bone dry. Thought another goal is all we needed. Taking second chances till we bleed. And when all love had been depleted, we had but no choice to concede. As the stars were dancing in their light, past that we could never run. Oh, they were dancing way up high. Stars were dancing in their light, future we will never run. Dirt on our feet was bone dry, it was bone dry.
Running round like dollars in the wind, bending over backwards just to let you in. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. Yeah, I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. Yeah, I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the
just put it in.
Four teams remain in the Season 6 Soraxus Networks Inc. Pinnacle Cup Championship. I'm Sqaud. Joining me here is ZekVexol and Araufbeastrl to my left. Nick NCS on production. Day one was a blast here. 5 hours of action, and for a division that is known for having really short playoff matches. I mean, last season we had 3 sweeps in the quarterfinals. Yesterday we only had 1, and every other match either went 6 or 7 games total here. ZekVexol and Araufbeastrl. 4 teams remain. Single elimination continues, but tonight is Championship Saturday. That means our top team will be crowned. Our last title will be given out here in ATS history, and of course, for all of you who are wondering, having heard that it is the last season of ATS, you may be wondering where you need to sign up for next season. Well, don't worry, we've got you handled. Take a look at this promo video, and we'll be right back with you all.
Do you believe in miracles?
Midfield, Jared's already up, double tap, oh my goodness! Jared goes sky high!
Would be an upset. It would be a tremendous upset, I think, coming into this one, and it is!
Spawning awkwardly, but it's actually going to pay dividends. He's right next to the boost. Off kickoff, towards the backboard, off the ceiling. He gets the waterfall! Weapon mode, are you kidding me?
Generally, you don't see the true nice shot there. Okay, there's nothing chess-like about that.
On the line, still keeping them in the driver's seat, but oh my lord!
Hey, oh, are you kidding?
And I think that Striker have really started exhausting out Brave. They go out for a shot. It's very high. It's off the backboard, and Wix hits it like nothing.
And maybe even more. Classy takes a shot. Mint is going to be there. Gets a reset. Gets another one. Goes low. Mint! 40 seconds to save your season.
Well, look at that. Royalty Series Season 7. Again, signups are open. Join the Royalty Series Discord server to get involved. Next season starts March, so you don't have a lot of time to sign up. Make sure you do it now. 1s, 2s, 3s, NAEU. All that you could hope for is in the Royalty Series. ZekVexol or Araufbeastrl. Let's take a look at our bracket here and what we saw from yesterday. As I mentioned already, not a lot of sweeps. Mostly close matches, mostly tight victories, very slim margins. The only thing I can expect today here, Araufbeastrl, is even more of that. If yesterday was that close, today it's not going to be much different.
Yeah, I agree. It was absolutely banger yesterday watching all the series. I think the only one that was really more decisive of the series was PAWS Up versus Dino Sqaud. Even that series, every single individual game was close. It was just about a 1 or 2 goal game in favor of PAWS Up. That's it. So PAWS Up definitely, even though they're going to be one of the top teams here to probably win it all, there's still going to be a lot to go for them here. They've got to be able to clean things up just a little bit.
Yeah, it was close. It was tense. ZekVexol. We saw a lot of impressive results as well from yesterday, and we've seen a lot of great matches now yesterday. But today, single elimination continues, but there's only 3 matches, semis and finals. That's it. If we thought yesterday was high pressure, today's not going to be any different. It's going to be even worse. You have to think that nerves are going to be on the minds of these players.
I mean, high pressure, absolutely. You got PAWS Up versus SP Starbreakers. SP being a team, being an org who has not seen semifinals in the Pinnacle Cup, okay? It's their first time. It's their last time to make that grand finals appearance and become the potential Season 6 grand champions. On the other side of the bracket, though, let's talk about upsets, okay? You're 2-time champions. You're back-to-back champions. 3-time champions, right? 100x Knight. knocked on down by Creation Station, who's now going head-to-head against Portable Document Format over there on the opposite side to find out who's going to the Grand Finals on that side. We're about to see a Grand Finals without a 100x Knight, a quarterfinals with potential SP as well. There's a whole lot of firsts to be had, and it's happening right here, Sporty.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of potential, and you've already taken us into our next pointer here, which is going to be about the matches of yesterday. Some people on this stream I don't think got to see yesterday. First of all, shame on you. You should have. It was absolutely incredible. But second of all, let's take you through a little bit of memory road here. I'll start, and we'll go right to left here, Araufbeastrl, then ZekVexol. I'm going to start talking first about a quarterfinals that I thought was really interesting, and I'm actually going to talk about the one here that, on paper, was the most one-sided. PAWS Up and Dino Sqaud. Araufbeastrl, you already talked about this. You already took us through this thing, but that series was closer than it seemed. Dino Sqaud may have lost game 1 by a DQ, but they lost the next 3 by a 1-goal difference, and then a 2-goal difference. It was close. It was tight, packed, and for a team like PAWS Up, who were the better team in theory by a mile, they really couldn't shake out the Dino Sqaud. This Dino Sqaud team, while they may have lost in a sweep, proved that they deserve to be here. But Araufbeastrl, we'll move to you now, and then we'll go to ZekVexol. What match do you want to talk about? What match really impressed you yesterday? What match, if people could go back and watch only one series out of the quarterfinals, what series do you think that should be?
I think the biggest one is going to be that Solus Path Golden versus PDFU, excuse me, but that one, it was really, really close. It went the distance, it went to 7, but at the same time, it was just back and forth. It could have been either team able to take that one. We saw it with PDFU able to start off with the first game, and it just kept bouncing back and forth, and finally Solus Path Golden able to force game 7. But even then, by the time that we got to game 7, even that game was close. That was just an absolute nail biter. That is the kind of down and dirty, the kind of, I could say, grudge match that we kind of need in the Pinnacle Cup to try and decide these matches.
Well, Zach, what do you have to say? I know you have a different match on your mind that was the one to go back and watch.
Yeah, not only did I get to witness with you, Sporty, on the desk, the KCG Chaos versus SP Starbreakers matchup. To me, that was a Cinderella story for either of those teams. We're talking about seeing an SP team in the semifinals for the first time here in the Pinnacle Cup, and we're talking about KCG Chaos making it out of the quarterfinals for the first time here in the Pinnacle Cup as well, okay? Two very great stories to tell right there, two very high potential matches, two very high potential teams to be making it on and moving it on. It was very unfortunate for KCG Chaos not having Ant on board for that one. Had some personal business, you do you. Family comes first at the end of the day. But the backups coming on in, Velochirio doing a phenomenal job for KCG Chaos on the pitch, really providing a great asset towards the team and showing why Velo is that fourth man on the roster. It was unfortunate that it felt like there was a little bit of a disconnect, but the thing that really stood out to me is the way that KCG team came out off the rip. Honestly, we were watching that game, and there were 4 goals right off the rip by KCG Chaos in the first 2.5 minutes, and then it turned out to be 5 goals right on back by SP Starbreakers. Sporty, we saw 9 goals in the first 2.5 minutes of game number 1, and I was like, what's happening? What's going on? This is an absolute crazy high-scoring game, but the other 2.5 minutes of game number 1 only saw 1 goal. It was an immediate shutdown of the pressure from KCG Chaos, and then SP Starbreakers started to walk away with it, but we did see a little bit of a bounce back from KCG. I liked it a lot, but it really felt like there was good momentum there in game number 1. We didn't see that back until games number 3, 4 down the line, where KCG started to make a little bit of a presence, a little bit more back in their favor, and it felt very dominant when it did. I talk about this team a lot being a momentum-based team, and it felt very unfortunate they weren't able to get that ball rolling and get that momentum going. SP Starbreakers, though, looked absolutely phenomenal, especially Chip out there on the pitch, being a huge highlight defensively, offensively. So many times that ball was teetering inside of the net, and I'm watching this guy just pop his way on through, weasel his way on in, and just get the ball on out of there. And then on the offensive side of things, the mechanics. Very nicely done. Well-deserved SP finding themselves into the semifinals against PAWS Up. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too as well. And what we're also looking forward to here is that playoffs MVP award. We mentioned it, passively yesterday, because today we are going to decide who is the best player in the playoffs for the Pinnacle Cup here from sponsored by Soraxus Networks Inc. 4 teams, tons of players still left to choose from, but a couple people have already made a name for themselves here. Playoffs MVP wise, we're going to go again down the line. Araufbeastrl, ZekVexol, and then myself. Who do you have as being the player to look out for today on any of the teams still competing?
Yes, boy, that's a tough one because all the players on the teams here, they look like they could be an MVP candidate here, but I think probably my pick's gonna be Peaky. We saw him yesterday being able to play with Creation Station. It was a very interesting series against 100x Knight, but at the same time, Peaky just bringing it out, able to look like probably one of the more dominant players on the Creation Station. Even still, you had Keeters out there. He was a great player, but at the same time, Peaky, it's just very hard to describe because Peaky, even though he was a little overshadowed by Keeters, he was still playing very well.
Yeah, he's a natural-born goal scorer here, number one in goals in the regular season with 27. He was regular season MVP last time around. I think one of the questions we had about Peaky was if he's, a playoff kind of player, if he can play in the playoffs. Clearly, what you're telling me here, Araufbeastrl, is you think that this is Peaky season, that they are playoff ready.
I really do think so. I don't think we've really seen a lot from the Creation Station in the past year, but it's the playoffs. It's what matters most. It's not about what happened in the regular season. It's what happens now. And the way the Creation Station played yesterday, they were able to take down a 100x Knight that we thought was going to make it to the grand finals, probably make ATS history. And now they're not even here on Championship Saturday. They are eliminated, and it's going to be Creation Station now looking to try and make that run.
Well, you've got Peaky on your mind. ZekVexol, who do you have on your mind?
You made a really good point there with Peaky being a massive point leader, score leader, goal leader, all across the board leader back in season number 5, being a great season player, okay? But we're talking about playoffs, okay? Even watching back, I remember back in season 5 where we watched Justice for Solo make their way on into the grand finals to lose it on over there to 100x Knight 4-1, okay? I watched that matchup live. I was on the desk for it, all right? The thing that stood out to me is I didn't see Peaky up there. No, I saw a great, well-rounded Just for Solo team. I won't get that lie. So if I were to talk about playoffs MVP, the person bringing it on out here, I'm looking over towards Chip. I kind of just brought him up a little bit, talking about him for SP Starbreakers and how well he played to really fend off what was quite literally an onslaught, what was quite literally an uphill battle from game number 1. Like I said, 4 goals in the first 2.5 minutes, right off the rip, and immediately 5 right on back, and that being a hat trick for Chip in that boot. Okay, this guy was an absolute field leader, a field dominator, and walked his way right on down in here to the semifinals. Well deserved. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on Chip as that mechanical leader. As I mentioned, maybe a little pick up the needle on the record, rewind it a little, and talk about how much of a Chip was on offense and defense. Let's keep our eyes on Chip here throughout the semifinals and potentially the grand finals.
Yeah, for SP Starbreakers, if they have any hopes to take themselves into the grand finals, take them past the PAWS Up team that has been looking really good, they're going to need Chip. But speaking of PAWS Up, that's where my MVP candidate could be coming in here. I know PAWS Up themselves weren't maybe the most impressive team from yesterday due to the fact that their series was so short that they made it look so easy. But I think that's what makes PAWS Up such a scary team, is that they make matches look so easy. If I had to name someone, I really want to see Slayer pop off today. He's the captain of this team, and I think everybody overlooks him, especially this season when you've got Taco Stash, and now you have Pigeon. Slayer, by comparison, is maybe not so noteworthy a player. He's not a natural goal scorer. He's not really a natural offensive player either. And yet, his thing is rotations and being in positioning. He's always in the right spot, he's in the right rotations, and he's a leader. He's a natural leader. There's a reason why he's been leading his team for the last 2 seasons. Even though he may be the lowest ranked player on that roster, he's a leader through and through. When it comes down to winning championships, it's not about who scores the most goals, it's about who leads and who can essentially catapult their team to victory. You may not see it on the field, but you can definitely see it up the field. So I like what I saw, I like what I see from Slayer, especially in playoff moments. This guy does not seem to get nervous. I think we need to see more of that today, and I think it speaks a lot to him that even though he may not be the most flashy player, when it comes down to playoffs, you can rely on him. He's just a reliable rock. But we're not going to be focusing on PAWS Up. We're not going to be focusing on SP Starbreakers. We're not going to be focusing on Slayer or Chip. We're focusing on our upcoming next series here. Portable document format files Unleashed versus the Creation Station. Creation Station were in the grand finals last season and lost to 100x Knight. Now they've gotten through 100x Knight. It feels like nobody can stop them anymore, right, Araufbeastrl?
Yeah, I agree, and it feels like this one feels a little bit more towards the Creation Station here, the way that they've been playing. You have Hotshot, Mini, and Peaky, that roster being so well, but you've got to consider this entire Creation Station roster. Doesn't matter who you put out there. They're going to play solid. They're going to play well. It's just the way that they are. You just can't change that about them. This one thing that for portable document format files Unleashed, it's just something they may not be able to handle.
Man, I watched back some of the matches from yesterday, even again, just to get a good idea. I watched back actually some of the matches from the previous season to get a good idea. I'm looking at this matchup between the portable document format and Creation Station, and I'm sorry, but even yesterday, we were here in the desk, listening to them go off, listening to Glitter and Run. I'll be seeing them later. Go out with Sporty right before the matches end up happening. They're showing their predictions, and something that kind of just stuck out to me was the matchup over there in round one. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say what I couldn't say on the desk then. I felt like whoever wins that quarterfinals matchup was going to find their way in the grand finals. And it's not because of last season's matches. No, it's because of the history this season. I mean, come on, 5-1. I believe this Creation Station roster, yes, they were dominant individually and as a team last season. They really pulled it together more so in the team aspect this season.
Yeah, you mentioned it. It's a teamwork-based side. I think both these teams, what helps them is that they're both team-based teams. We had a tough time choosing MVPs from these teams. That tells you just how well-rounded they are. These are not teams that win because of one player. These are teams that win because of MVPs. Not because of MVPs, but because of MVP team performances. These are teams, not players, and that's why when teams win, it's maybe not the teams with the most notable players. It's the teams that have the most notable rotations, the most notable positioning, the most notable teamwork. And it's one of the reasons why 100x Knight struggled this season is because, that's a team that's really based on individuality, whereas these teams are based on teamwork, based on togetherness. And you get that out of both sides. Creation Station, PDF, both these teams work together, they work well, and they are definitely teams that are going to play that way. I think coming into this matchup, there's really a lot of keys to victory. There's a lot of things that we want to see. We already mentioned, for Creation Station, the goal scoring, that's going to be important for them. They definitely had issues yesterday when it came to getting momentum going. I think for portable document format, one thing that I didn't like from yesterday from them, that series I thought it went the distance, but it was ugly. And Araufbeastrl, you can maybe talk to just how rough it was yesterday. It was a series that was difficult. It was a series that wasn't pretty. For PDF, if they want to win today, yesterday, they cannot play like they did yesterday, because yesterday was not pretty. And they got fortunate because SB Golden were likewise not having a very consistent playstyle. But for PDF, if they want to beat Creation Station, they've got to fix up those errors, especially on the back wall.
Yeah, because we saw that yesterday as well. Every single mistake that we had from the Creation Station, they were able to make it work. 100x Knight, they made mistakes as well, but it was Creation Station every single time able to punish them for those mistakes instead. So if you're going to make mistakes, if you are PDF, you have to clean things up, or you're going to see Creation Station being able to walk all over you, being able to take every single vantage point.
ZekVexol, we saw this Creation Station team from yesterday. They looked pretty solid overall, but that was against 100x Knight that maybe wasn't playing at their best. I mean, as much as we talk about how incredible it is 100x Knight lost, let's be realistic. Their offense was not great yesterday. That's the thing that's scary about that team. They weren't there yesterday. Portable document format is here today. What's the key to success for Creation Station to take this series and go to what would be back-to-back grand finals in the Pinnacle Cup?
Now, I look at it, whether 100x Knight showed up or not, that's on them. The Creation Station did show up, and it's whoever shows up to play. That is the big question, and that is what needs to be answered today. Is it going to be portable document file? I don't know. Is it going to be Creation Station? I don't know. I can say from a consistency's sake, looking at this playoffs, looking at the season, looking at season history, I got to be looking at Creation Station. I just feel like there's been a dominant consistency in the individuality aspect and in the team aspect as well that I just have to focus on and that I'm going to be highlighting. Yesterday's matchup between portable document format and SP Golden was, as you said, it was sloppy. It wasn't clean. It was messy. We can go down the list of synonyms as much as we want to sit there and describe that matchup. There is something that needed work there. But Creation Station, they put it away 4-2 against previous multi-time champions, okay? I got a feeling that this is going to be a very dominant performance from Creation Station again, and I'll triple down at this point. I felt like whoever won that quarterfinals matchup is finding their way in the grand finals.
I think most people would agree with you as well. I don't think a lot of people are taking this portable document format team very seriously. But Araufbeastrl, you got to see them yesterday. If you could take anything from that win for portable document format, we're talking as if they've already lost. They haven't. They're still here. They're still competing. What does that team do well? What's something that they've really got to lean into tonight to take down Creation Station, advance to finals, and who knows, maybe pull off a big upset there and get the win that they're looking for?
I think it's more so just taking advantage of the series when they need to. They started out early there against SP Golden, but at the same time, SP Golden, whenever they had to, they did get the goals. It's just the consistency. I think from PDFU. It's a little irking to watch, but at the same time, whenever they're on their game, they're going to be on without a doubt. And that's the scary thing for the Creation Station is it's like the 100x Night series. Whenever 100x Night able to find out what they can do, being able to click when they need to, they did win games. PDFU is going to have to do the same if they want to take down the Creation Station.
Something I do want to highlight, I will say this. Okay, sorry to cut you off there. As much as I've been sitting here saying whoever makes that quarterfinals, I will give credit where credit is due. Okay, portable document format did beat out Creation Station as their only loss during the regular season in a very nice 3-2 fashion. That one did go the distance, but it did happen. I won't disregard that at all. I'll make sure that's on the record so everybody on the desk and everybody at home understands there is potential here to see a portable document format final in the grand finals.
Yeah, you said it. We're forgetting about that part. The fact that PDF beat Creation Station here as well. Well, it seems like you wanted to add one more thing. You are really antsy to get involved. What do you want to add to this as well before we go into predictions and before we get into our match?
Yeah, I was going to say that's what's going to make this one a little bit more interesting when it comes to the predictions is at the same time, the Creation Station, they took down 100x Night. That's just something they haven't been able to do before. They're finally able to do it now. And because of that, it looks like they may be the ones going to the grand final on the side of the bracket. But at the same time, we look at PDFU, they took them down in the regular season. Sometimes that could be just a little bit more of an eye-opener on what each team can do individually, but also it could give the Creation Station just a little bit of bittersweet revenge here if they can pull it off.
Yesterday was a story of revenge, but now today is a story of making it of the grand finals, of victory, of being at the top of your game. Creation Station are one win away from going back-to-back grand finals. Portable document format had a winless record last season. Now they're only one win away from advancing to the last match of this season. Let's talk about predictions and let's go through them. Araufbeastrl, ZekVexol, who do you have winning this thing and by how much?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I do not think this one's going to go to 7, but at the same time, I don't think this is going to be easy for either team here. I think it might be a 4-2, but who's going to get the 4-2? It's going to be the Creation Station, of course. It's going to be the Creation Station. Get this one. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we might have Mini back on the roster. Mini definitely one of the catalysts here for the Creation Station. It's just such a solid roster. It's hard, even if you don't have Mini in the roster, it's hard to be able to play against them. They just play so well-rounded, and what you need at the top level, it isn't mechanics. It is not having one player shining above them all. It's teamwork. It's consistency. That's what makes a champion.
You know, I'm going to take a step back. I ain't playing it safe, all right? I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop it right now. 4-0 Creation Station. 4-1 if they're trolling. Flat out. Short and sweet and to the point.
That is an aggressive prediction. I do love the guts on it. Of course, you're saying that that the Pinnacle Cup will go back to its roots of being very one-sided.
Yes.
This is a tougher choice for me. I think if it goes to 7, portable document format have the advantage. They're a team that seems to win in those Game 5, Game 7 scenarios. But I do think Creation Station are just a more powerful team. I think one day is not enough time for portable document format to fix the mistakes they had from yesterday. They look sloppy. I think they look disorganized. I think Creation Station are a team that takes full advantage of that. They did it against 100x Night. They should be able to do it here against the portable document format team if they make those same mistakes. I don't think it's 4-0, but I do think it's going to be a 4-1. Well, we're almost in. We're almost ready. The players are in the lobby here. Let's get this first match underway. I'll be joining Araufbeastrl and Araufbeastrl as we go into this series. Boy, you know, our first semifinals, yesterday was all quarterfinals. Everybody got to play once today. Teams will have to play twice. And for our first match of the night, Creation Station are in a great position. They didn't win last season. They got decimated by 100x Night. Because they were able to beat them this season, though, as we said, feels like things are more open for them. The semifinals is in their favor. I think yesterday the quarterfinals wasn't. I don't think they were the team that was favored to win the quarterfinals. Tonight, though, it feels like the semifinals, everything's flipped. Do you think? I think I don't know if that's something to do with who they're playing against now. Maybe PDF are a team that matches better to their playstyle, or if it just is that now we're convinced that this Creation Station team is the real deal because of how they played yesterday.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a tougher one here because at the same time see the Creation Station, the way they were to take down 100x9, definitely not an easy win there, but at the same time, it kind of feels like there's a lot of pressure on them now that they've been able to get rid of the boogeyman from last season. Now, they're going to be looked at as, I guess you can say, the possible victors to take this entire thing, and it's going to be a tough road for them now. It probably wouldn't have if they were facing 100x9 in the grand finals instead of having to face them yesterday in the quarterfinals, but again, it's gonna make this one more interesting. But let's go ahead and get into it. PDFU versus the Creation Station, and already the Creation Station looking to try and say something here.
We've been talking so much about Mini. He won't be in this match. It's the same 3 players as yesterday for both teams. PDF with Elastid, Sammy, and Slasher. It's Creation Station with Hotshot, Peaky, and Keeters. Peaky, by the way, with E9K. And Keeters, they're going by Tubby. So, you know, we're back in. It's the same roster as yesterday. I like this call from the Creation Station. I don't know if this was one that was made out of necessity, but they looked good yesterday with the 3 players they had. I'm not surprised they're playing with those 3 players again. If they had a choice, even more power to them, because what we saw yesterday, Keeters looked solid. We mentioned about Peaky, but I think one thing we can't forget about is just how good Keeters looked yesterday. We were talking about Peaky, and he even mentioned he was sort of overshadowed by Keeters, and I mean, we can talk all about it as we want, but I think I would agree with you on that. It looked like Keeters, in moments, had those flashy plays, had those stand-up performances. I don't know if he's going to have as many of them today, but if he was looking as good as he was yesterday, being the almost certain substitute, well, with Peaky getting this first goal, we'll see. Can Keeters look as good as he did today as he did yesterday?
Yeah, that's the Keeters Peaky pickup too that got to this one. Keeters looked for the fake on this one, got it perfect for the setup for Peaky, and that's kind of what gave him the first goal here. But I think that's what makes this team such a good team here. You can put anybody in, you can do whatever you want to do for the setup. That's going to be a goal for Sammy. We're already tied at 1. Oh my goodness.
It's an immediate answer too. Well, I know ZekVexol's going to be crying or shaking his head or whatever it is that is showing disgust right now, because he mentioned yesterday how much he doesn't like these kickoff goals. You think it should be preventable, and realistically it should be, but another one here. This far in your competition, those are the kind of goals you need to be ready to prevent. You need to have a kickoff plan that doesn't give up those goals so often.
And Hotshot looking for the double there. That would have been an absolute banger. Already 3 goals almost would have been scored if that went in just in the first minute alone, but now it's going to stay tied here, and it's already Keeters looking to do a little bit more destruction. Hotshot, we've not talked about him much here for the Creation Station, but he has been a great player when he's online as well. And Keeters, oh, he got into Hotshot. That was not going to find the mark though, so still going to be a 1-goal game here. But Hotshot again, as I said before, we don't really talk about him when he's online. It's been absolutely tragic for any team that goes against the Creation Station. It's just the way that they play. Just one of the players have to get online. Just somebody, anybody, just set up the rotation, set up the confidence, and all 3 players just an absolute 3-headed Hydra to go against.
Yeah, it is. That's the scary part you said about Creation Station. It's interchangeable. Oftentimes, and I feel like this is against the meta that so often is played at this level. Usually at this level, you know exactly who you're playing against. But on Creation Station, on any given day, it could be any of the 5 players on this team that are competing. But here's a shot from Sammy, and portable document formats with a lead in game 1.
And we talk about it for portable document formats. This is kind of the thing they need to do. They need to get out early just to be able to have a chance to take down the Creation Station. The rotations from the Creation Station are a little more, I guess you say, perfect than some of the other teams. The way that they can be so cohesive. And look at this now. Keeters downfield. He's looking for the double. He has the pass. The Hotshot. And that's going to be another equalizer here.
Yeah, Hotshot just waiting, but you said it, all eyes are on Keeters on this play. A double tap is not unlikely from that position, and if we mentioned from yesterday, one of the big weaknesses of this PDFU roster from yesterday was the back wall. They just don't cover the back wall as often as they should be, and SP Golden had a lot of the same issues. Both those teams were able to score so many goals off each other because that back wall was left open. That cannot be the same today. You are just not going to get away with those save openings, because teams at this level, it was like basically anybody else in this top 4, they're going to recognize that that back was open, they're going to jump on, and Creation Station especially. We saw against 100x Night, they do really well when their opponents make mistakes.
Yeah, agreed. This was a little bit more of an awkward series there. Oh my goodness, I don't know how that's not in. Everybody not really expecting that play to go the way it did, so this finally back in the midfield. Slasher for the past year. It's to Elastic. That's a shot on target. Keeters there in time, and the creation station looking to stay alive here. It's been a little bit more shaky for both these two teams as they try to figure each other out a little bit more. Lasted back downfield, reset. He can't do too much with it. Keeters on the back line.
Yeah, I love this right now. As you said, rotations have been looking a little bit more perfect out of creation station, but PDFU doing a great job on rotations and really doing a good job at having multiple backups. We've seen a couple times this creation station team break through that second player, break through the back lines, but it's never really been a major issue, unlike what happened against Thunder X Night, where that back line was left open. PDFU are taking a much more defensive approach, much more cautious approach. They've always got a third man waiting back, and because of that, even if the second guy gets broken down, they've still got another layer of defense behind them. And even when they have to go back to that, there's always that first man that seems to have at least half of the boost left. So PDFU playing a more cautious style, but that means that when the macro line does get broken, they've got backups to spare. They've got people who are waiting back, and rarely do you see it open, but it is here. A big demo and an open net. Creation Station bulldozed their way through, and for the first time in this game, that PDFU backline does fall apart.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were looking for there from the creation station, just keeping the rotation, keep the pressure up of all things. It's the only way to make sure that it's absolutely flawless, and it was. And they're going to take the lead because of it. PK having to find it back to Keeters. Sammy still trying to get PDFU back into this one. Hotshot having to go for the reset just to keep this one mid. It's going to be Keeters for the shot. Had to fake it instead. Now PDFU back in control. Lasted. He's looking to try and make this one go the distance. Sammy having to take over, but it's not exactly what he wanted. He had to come off the wall just to get away. And now Creation Station able to find the clear with 30 seconds remaining here.
It is time running up here for PDFU in game one, and what is usually a feeler game, these teams already coming out swinging as Sammy with the drop down play finds Slasher, pinched away. Creation Station hop on top of that one, and a big block for Peaky right now, number one in points this game, 2 goals, 1 save. Now it's Hotshot. Sammy keeps it out, maybe one last chance in regulation. Reportable document format. The bump is on Peaky. It's cleared away. Slasher will race back to it. High touch. Hotshot reads it perfectly. Creation Station win by 1 goal.
It's just absolutely wonderful that the way Creation Station played here. It's just absolutely immaculate Rocket League. This is what you expect any team at the top level to play, and it's not because of anything fancy, nothing that you really probably would want from a freestyler at that. It's just perfect Rocket League. The rotation's just on target. The goals just absolute creativity, just forcing the mistakes from PDFU, and it's what works here for the Creation Station.
Yeah, I liked what I saw from PDFU, though, this game. Even though they lost by 1, this is a team that came into this match and is playing maybe a little bit more passively. They're getting a little less opportunities on offense, but I don't think they're minding too much. I think the one thing that hurts them, though, is that their offense has been a bit too one-dimensional. You see all the goals coming from Sammy. Well, everybody had their chances to shoot. Really, I need to see someone else get goals for PDFU. Once you have at least 2 different people scoring goals in a game, that's when your offense starts to become a lot tougher to read. Creation Station are breakable. It just feels like for PDFU, you need to have someone else taking those shots as well.
Yeah, I agreed. Just a little bit more on the unfortunate side for PDFU. But hey, this is why we play a best of 7. Sometimes you're not going to win that first game. Sometimes you've got to be able to fight through, find your way through. And PDFU, they're the kind of team that can fight back. We saw it yesterday with SP Golden. They did start taking the series a little bit early, but the way they were able to make things go back and forth and force SP Golden to be awkward, they can do the same here against the Creation Station. It is going to be a little bit more tougher to do just that, though.
Yeah, you said it's going to be very difficult to get themselves going now that game 1 has gone against them, but you can never say never for a Bottom Document format team that has, again, had an explosive season so far, but Creation Station already on offense early. Will be Peaky. Pinch off that side wall to set up a play midfield. Sent back by Sammy. Hot shot. Lofts this one up. Keeters had a magnificent double tap yesterday. I think many would consider that the goal of the day, but of course, creating goals aren't going to win you very much. Goals like these will, though. Peaky with some perfect shooting. That is professional shooting at its finest, and a guy who, again, is number 1 in goals this season. We mentioned him on the pre-show as being a standout player. He's still a standout player today. He has not dropped at all. In fact, I would make, maybe this is a bit of an early argument, he looks better than he did yesterday.
And that's why he is one of the MVP candidates. My specific MVP candidate for the playoffs here. It's just absolutely amazing to watch him play. It's just immaculate. Even yesterday, he was still playing a great game of Rocket League, and now saying that this one's an even better hotshot. Gonna get this one in as the Creation take the lead, but Peaky being able to play a little bit better here tonight is just a absolutely astounding statement to just show how good of a player he can be.
Yeah, and I think it's even scarier that for PDFU, they have to be prepared for anyone to shoot, and yet they know that if Peaky's on the ball, he's right now becoming quite a problem. It's a second straight fake kickoff for Creation Station. At this point now, they're reaching into the bank of kickoff strategies, 2 straight fake kickoffs, and starting to catch PDFU on a little bit of their predictability here. Doing a great job at recognizing where PDFU are more readable. Again, I think for a team that wants to let release no style, they've got to find plays. This one sent up to Slasher, stopped by a hot shot. PDFU with their best chance of the game so far, but that one denied. Hotshot gets in the way, and here goes Peaky! Bang! 3-0!
Yeah, Peaky just absolutely peaking on the PDFU. It's been him almost entire series so far. He's ready for a grand finals. We know there's a long way to go, but the way that this Creation Station team is playing so far, it would not surprise me if they can force PDFU awkward and just continue to tear them a new one.
Yeah, they've looked so good right now, just on an absolute tear. You said it, 3 goals straight this game, and boy, oh boy, they're looking to continue that furthermore. And one thing that's definitely changed has just been the fact of the matter is that somebody on Creation Station has been able to really take that step-up role, but it's not even Peaky who I think has had that big step-up role. He's looking just as good as he did yesterday, again, maybe a little bit better. It's Hotshot who is doing it. 1 goal, 2 assists, 2 saves. He's been all over the field. I think he was the quietest player for Creation Station yesterday, but tonight, he is right now the full focus of the match so far, and he's the reason that Creation Station not only took game 1, but now is running away with game 2.
Yeah, and if you are PDFU, you've just got to wonder, what do you got to do to try to get back into this one? Because this does not look like the PDFU that we know probably could take it against the Creation Station here. They are yet to find actually any pressure for the most part so far. Last, and he's going to have this downfield, but that's not the touch he wanted there. Keter's trying to find the cut, and now Sammy has to find something for its hotshot. Actually, Peaky all over this one. And Elastic just trying to find his way through. Got the air dribble, got this one close, but it's off target. You've got to be able to hit those shots on target if you want to get around the Creation Station.
Yeah, rare moment where Creation Station left their backline completely undefended. That net was open, and you said it, you don't get those moments often against a team as well-rounded and as strong in the rotations as Creation Station is. But one thing that definitely hurt for ADF even more is, unlike yesterday where SB Golden, when they had the open chances, were a bit sluggish to get back, that one was shut down immediately. After that first shot went wide, there was no follow-ups. Creation Station right on top of things, not just offensively with the 3 goals they've had so far, but defensively, they've been a nuisance. They have not given PDFU many second or third opportunities in their offensive attacks.
And that's the biggest thing you've got to look for any team. You can't just give opportunities away. You can't just let them have control. You want to be the proactive team, and right now PDFU playing a little bit more reactive here, and it's the Creation Station that just love that kind of play style, just forcing every single little thing out. We see this a little bit from a couple other teams. More specifically, I think PAWS Up has a little bit more of that play style, but if there's any team that does it better, it's going to be the Creation Station. But Sammy does find one through the for PDFU.
Yeah, he completely broke the axles of Peaky on that play as well. Big demo from Elastic too, but a 3v1. There's not a lot of options for Hotshot. He kind of has to go for that. So they made it easier for PDFU. They do a great job in the midfield, but that is 1 goal in over 3.5 minutes of game time. They're going to need 2 more goals, and time is running out quickly for them.
And Peaky, oh my goodness, Peaky! What are we seeing, sporting? An absolutely disgusting double tap angle. Never in my life have I seen anybody make that.
My goodness, well, you said Peaky's peaking. Is that more than enough for you to confirm he is peaking? A hat trick this game, an assist as well, and the crazy thing is, Hotshot's got the 3 assists or 3 goals of Peaky. It is a terrible duo in front right now for Creation Station. They're wrecking havoc. They're making things happen. Hotshot's got another one. It's another assist for Peaky. This is the dynamic duo right now, and nobody can shut them down.
Peaky's not just Peaky, he's just an absolute legend at this point. Absolute god status activated here. Hotshot just letting him get what he needs. You just gotta set him up. That's all you've got to do. And the Creation Station just finding a way to make magic work. We talk about Peters being such a good player yesterday, but it is Hotshot and Peaky, where if you just let them off their leash, they're gonna show you why they're one of the most dangerous players in the Pinnacle Cup.
Yeah, it almost feels like as if this is sort of a thank you to Keeters. They're going to take over for now. With under a minute to go for a game that felt like it was, you know, possible for portable document format. It didn't take very long for this Creation Station team to put it completely out of reach. It's going to be a 2-0 series lead as soon as these last 30 seconds are over. And my goodness, what a run here. Peaky's looking good. Hotshot stepping up where he needs to. And you're just seeing, again, a duo in front right now. This is the semifinals. They're running away with things. And for portable document format, they didn't take the tactical timeout yesterday when they had the chance. They'll get a goal late here, but they didn't take the tactical timeout yesterday when they had the chance. Today, though, they might want to take one after this game because, man, this is a Creation Station team right now that's a runaway locomotive. They're with a full head of steam, and the only way you can really shut them down right now is taking as much time as you can in between games to just stop them and reset.
And that's the biggest thing here, too. They just got that second goal that they needed here in Game 2, but that's what you need here. You need a little bit more momentum getting into this, and you can't let the Creation Station get away with this one. That one finding its way around, but it is Keeters. He wants to keep this one going, want to keep the ball up, and now time has evaporated away, so we are going to go into DFH Stadium with a 2-0 lead for the Creation Station. The ball actually just now going to fall down, but Creation Station going to take this one.
Yeah, it was. What a showing for Creation Station. Dominant on offense, and after what was a relatively even game one, sure, Creation Station were looking like the slightly better team, but I complimented portable document format, but this game completely got away from them, and I would be surprised if they don't take a tactical timeout. Things looks bad for them. They didn't take one at all yesterday, so I guess it wouldn't be the most surprising thing. What does surprise me, though, is just how much momentum that this Creation Station team has been able to build just out of nothing, basically. It was a tough game one. That was not a game one that felt like a momentum-moving game one. But my goodness, Hotshot, Peaky, a dynamic duo, and for Keeters, he really didn't have to. He didn't show up all that much this game, but to be fair, he doesn't have to. When you've got Hotshot and Peaky doing that, you can kind of just sit back and do nothing because you've got an offense that portable document format cannot seem to shut down.
And that's the thing about the Creation Station. Look at the stats here. Just the absolute connection between Peaky and Hotshot. Every single time that Peaky found a goal, it was set up by Hotshot. And every time that Hotshot was able to find the mark, it was Peaky to set him up. Just no goal going unassisted. It's Hotshot and Peaky just playing the best game of Rocket League of their lives in Game 2. But I think this one's going to go even better. Game 3 definitely probably could be the decider here. If PDFU do take it, this is going to be it's going to be a chance for them probably to force Creation Station to think a little bit here, not give them as much of an opportunity to think this is going to be an easy series. But if the Creation Station take it, I think this could be the end here for PDFU's playoff run.
I would agree with you exactly. I think if Creation Station wins this, I don't see any chance PDFU makes that a reverse sweep. But if PDFU wins this, they at least give themselves some hope. I think this is essentially a must-win for PDFU after how bad Game 2 looked. And being a team that can play toe-to-toe with teams, but realistically, they are not a team that wins a ton of games straight. That's not exactly their playstyle. I mean, the one time they beat Creation Station this season, it went all the way to Game 5. And they're not a team that's going to win a ton of games in a row. That's just not how they play. That's not really the playstyle we saw from them yesterday. It's not the way that, it's not how their mood has been. Simply put, I think this is must win for them, but Creation Station, with how good they looked, really feels like they're in a pretty good position now. The pressure's not on them. It's on PDFU. All Creation needs to do is just do it again and again and prove that this is consistent from them.
And you can already see it's pressure immediately coming from PDFU. Oh, a great fake from Elasted. Get this one close. Hotshot. He's got to force a 50 though. That one's going to break a little bit towards the Creation Station's way. Sammy, you've got to get this down though if you want a chance, but Elasted had to go back for boost, so this might not be the opportunity they wanted. That was an opportunity there. PDFU wanted it, but it's going to be a counterattack. That's going to be a goal for Peaky, and the Creation Station going to start this one out a little bit, I guess you can say, more on the unfortunate side for PDFU.
Yeah, communication mishap there. Sammy and Slasher both called for it, and you saw both of them stutter. If they didn't go for it, but they both called each other off, so no one goes. That net's wide open in a rare moment at this level to see it, but it's a kickoff goal, and we saw a lot of kickoff shenanigans last game at a Creation Station. This one will go horribly for them. Everybody pushing up. They went for, I think, the Carmine quick kickoff play where you essentially push the kickoff to your teammate. It didn't work. PDFU scores, and we're already even again.
Yeah, kind of a little bit more picture perfect from PDFU, but you can't rely on the kickoff plays if you want to beat this Creation Station squad the way well, I will say that's kind of the kryptonite more so from the Creation Station to get around their perfect rotations, but you can't rely on it because they'll just adjust every time. Slasher, they're trying to get this one central, but again, this is where the rotations come online for the Creation Station. Whenever you get an opportunity to try and beat two, there's always a third man there. You've got to find a way to get around that. We saw that in game 2, that demo play is what they needed to force this one around, and now Sammy trying to get this one forward, but again, the Creation Station just all over it.
Yeah, it is, and I like the speed of Creation Station as well. They know this is a rotational-based battle. They know this is a team that wants to play rotationally. They're trying to play it even faster just to outpace them, and of course that runs into the issue that you may be outpacing yourself. You may be putting yourself in a tough position, but Creation Station's more than happy to take the challenge as they'll play in field. Kept away, but right now, I think the one thing that's surprising me at a Creation Station is just how fast they want to move right now. Oftentimes, you see teams slow things down as you get further in the playoff bracket. You start to look for the quality of plays, but Creation Station, I mean, their quality is great, but right now, they're trying to outpace portable document format, put them in a bad position, make their rotations essentially fall apart fast, and that's where they can get goals, and that's where they can sneak in those plays to capitalize on mistakes.
And it's already PDFU just trying to find their way through. We're already halfway through this game 3, and now this game, it's still even. Oddjob trying to find his way through. Lasted had to keep this one away. It's a little bit more back and forth. It's like watching game 1 all over again. So PDFU definitely looking to try and find at least something a little bit more different here to keep the Creation Station back on this one. And again, this is where we talk about the rotations again. A person is back for the Creation Station to keep this one from going wrong. And now PDFU having to retreat back just to get an opportunity to keep this one going forward. As Keeters punching it through. Sammy, he's got to make the jump. He can't find it. Lasted had to clear it away, but it is Keeters to keep the pressure on for the Creation Station.
One thing I want you to focus on if you are in chat, look at how many times that Creation Station are going lateral on this play, across the goal. Every time they have a chance, they're going across the goal, and that's wasting out the boost of PDFU. They know PDFU aren't the faster team right now. They know this PDFU team is one that is having issues with the back wall. All Creation Station is doing is anytime they get upfield, they're playing laterally. They're going across the net, wasting boost, making things even tougher. Essentially, all Creation Station is doing right now is making things awkward for PDFU, waiting to see if they'll make that mistake, waiting to see if that rotation falls apart. Because they're wasting boost, because they're playing fast, that's all contributing to PDFU making mistakes. We haven't seen much of it this game. PDFU's done great at staying consistent, but once the mistake happens, that's where Creation Station jumps in. That lateral play, that boost wasting, all of that is contributing to what's making this a very tough battle for PDFU to take.
And you look at the amount of plays that's coming from PDFU as well. They're getting some opportunities to keep it playing, but they have to exhaust their boost every single time just to get this to the other half, so they can't come in. They can't keep trying to push forward as the Creation Station just absolutely intelligent play. This is where intelligence comes over for the Creation Station. It's great when you have mechanics, but when you know when to use those mechanics and we know how to just absolutely brawl it out, it's going to be the Creation Station to win that battle each and every time here. And oh my gosh, Keeters trying to find hot shot downfield. That's not the way he wants it to go. Sammy had to nearly jump in, and now less than 30 seconds left. We may actually see overtime for the first time in this series if this continues.
Yeah, it definitely has been. You said a repeat of game 1. Game 1 was not too far away from overtime, but that will shut things down. PDFU make a mistake, and all Creation Station's doing is waiting for it. A bad touch for Sammy, and that unleashes the floodgates. Creation Station's been waiting all game for that to happen, and boy, their relentless pressure has eventually and finally paid off, and the perfect time.
But that may not last long. The kickoff already going in favor of PDFU. Keeters is keeping under control. Sammy, he's going to look for the shot here. Oddjob, he's a little bit awkward, but does find the angle to get the save away. Sammy trying to find this away. It's a great pinch from Oddjob. That's going to fall. That's going to be game 3 there, the Creation Station. A little bit more of a bloody battle here for them, but this is going to force match point.
No overtime in game 3. Still waiting, you said, for the first overtime of the night, but Creation Station, boy, that was a grueling game for PDFU. They may have only lost by 1, but it really felt like that Creation Station played a perfect game there. PDFU weren't making a lot of mistakes, and yet Creation Station were relentless. They never stopped. They never left their playstyle. I think a lot of teams, when they try to make mistakes and don't see their opponent make mistakes, try to change things up, try to force out goals. Creation Station are playing the long game, and PDFU just cannot seem to handle that easily. So credit to Creation Station for playing the long game, for sticking to their playstyle, for sticking to what works, because, you know, it paid off at the end of this game. PDFU finally made a mistake, and Creation Station But, you know, they were waiting essentially 3 to 4 minutes for that opening. They take it, and now only one away from taking the series. They are going to keep doing this. They're going to keep making this a grueling battle for PDFU, essentially forcing them to play a long, exhausting game until eventually they fall apart. And that is such a tough place to play against, because Creation Station are unfaltering.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of the weird thing too. I don't think we're gonna get a timeout either from PDFU, so it's gonna be up to them if they want a chance to get back into this one, because now they're gonna have to reverse sweep Sporty if they want to be able to go to the grand finals.
Yeah, reverse sweep, something that is so rare, and especially in playoffs, it's so tough to do, especially at this level, especially how good the Creation Station is looking. PDFU now, with their season on the line, must win to stay in the bracket. They lose, they're over. They will not see themselves in the grand finals. Creation Station went there last season. They look to do it again, and already looking for a good start. It's hot shot up the crossbar, and PDFU really not in the right spot right now. That kickoff hurt them badly. It's Creators, and it's saved by Sammy. Low boost already. PDFU not where they want to be in. Creation Station looking to take this breach up here from Peaky. Flip reset, he won't have it. They'll jump in anyways. Creators to follow will leave things for a hot shot. Peaky's there as well. Shot on target. Elasted gets there. Follow up. It's Keeters, and it's 1 goal. Creation Station for the first 30 seconds never let go of the pedal, and PDFU fall apart. Can't keep this up forever.
And you've got to look at the bump there from Hotshot there onto Elasted. That's kind of what put the nail in the coffin there as well. Even if Elasted didn't have as much of a touch there, but it was a little bit of an awkward start for both these two teams here off the kickoff. Nobody able to find it for the first 5 seconds of the game until it finally got taken into control. It was Keeters actually, I think, who got the touch for it. Oh my goodness. Peaky actually almost hoping Keeters get to that one, but the Creation Station just on a lock here. Elasted, he gets the save, but it's not going to last too much longer. Hotshot still back into it. They're still on their own half here. PDFU need to find something if they want to be able to fight in this series.
Oh, I would have passed! It was beautiful! Peaky with an incredible shot, but look at this. That's the Keeters we saw yesterday. Selfless when he needs to be. A perfect assist. PDFU could not have expected that, and Creation Station benefits.
My goodness, the Creation Station just an absolutely three-headed Hydra right now. We saw it a little bit earlier. It was Hotshot and Peaky that was absolutely peaking on PDFU. Now it is Keeters getting involved. It's what we know can happen from the Creation Station. That's from the midfield. That is Keeters.
And it's 3-0. PDFU may have made a real mistake here not taking that timeout, because Creation Station, this has been constant from them. They are just on top of things, and PDFU cannot seem to break out. And this reminds me a little bit of last season for Creation Station. Their semifinals match last season was against Midwest Mafia, the Midwest Mafia team that won the first time we actually had a division up at this rank level, the Apex Cup back in Season 3. They swept that team in the semifinals, and if you know anything about that Midwest Mafia team, at least back then, that team was entirely rotational based. A little different here. I think PDFU is a little bit more willing to go for solo plays, but you're seeing a very similar matchup here where this Creation Station team is taking on a rotational based side, and you're just seeing them run away with it. It feels so similar to last season, because it seems like they just do so well against rotational based teams because that's their playstyle, and they know exactly how to counter it. And now Keeters looking for another flip reset. Won't get much going, but feels like a repeat of last season right now with the way that things are going. PDFU, they've got to stop the bleeding first before they get any hope of coming back and preserving their life.
Yeah, and I think ZekVexol might like this series so much. He actually called the 4-0. He said it was daring, but I don't think it's daring anymore. The Creation Station looking that strong. It's just absolutely unfortunate here for PDFU, just not able to get past this absolute Goliath that is the Creation Station. Elastic trying to find his way through, but it's every single time there's a little bit of an inch given to PDFU. It is the Creation taking it back, but taking it back by the mile. Elastic, oh, he's going to be taken off field. Keeters going to keep this one forward. Keeters to the ceiling, couldn't exactly find the touch, and now the Creation Station having to be a little bit more careful here. Is PDFU trying to find each other, but again, the rotations from them not as solid as the Creation Station.
Yeah, now look at this. Hotshot almost got a goal from there. He still shoots, and it's just kept a little bit wide at this point. For PDFU, they're going all in on offense. There's 2 minutes left, but they're feeling the pressure, and I think more importantly, they're feeling as if they have to go for it. They've only had 3 shots this game. You compare that to the 12 of the Creation Station, 6 of which from Keters, who has now had his moment to step up and shine. Creation Station running away with things. It may be yet another sweep in the semifinals. It may be a second straight season going to the grand finals. And coming in today, we called out a lot of players on the Creation Station. We were asking if they were going to do it, how they were going to look. I think at this point for them, it's not even about beating PDFU. It's about setting a statement for who they play in the grand finals. That goes in, though, for Slasher, a mistake from Peaky. But this point for Creation Station, so long as they're able to hold things down, it comes down to what kind of statement are they going to make going to the grand final against whoever wins their next series.
Yeah, I think at this point, the Creation Station want to troll just a little bit, give PDFU a little bit of hope. It may be a little bit cruel if that is what they're doing, but at the same time, why wouldn't you be? You're so confident, you're just so in control in this series. Peaky almost finding his way through, Sammy having to come in just to get this one away. PDFU actually starting to heat up a little bit here. Sasha, he's going to try and put this one close. It's going to go as far as the ceiling, and now PDFU have to try and face the absolute Goliath of the defense of the Creation Station. A minute now remaining. It's a great fake from Alas. He tries to get around Hotshot, but Sammy, he couldn't get it on the follow-up, and now the Creation Station still maintaining in control. A little bit awkward here, but it's still absolutely the Creation Station. That one almost found the mark, but again, the Creation Station just absolutely happy to be here. It's going to be Peaky to get this one this time around, and now the Creation Station absolutely amazing and absolutely comfortable 4-1 lead.
Yeah, and even Hotshot's calling it. I think I would agree with them. I think that's the goal that's going to end this series. I don't think there's enough time left now for PDFU to take this one. They're still playing for it. They still have hope, but they're going to need to go all in on every single attack they have here. They got to go all in because their season is on the line. Hotshot's a clear. Will be Keters to follow it up. Peaky's there as well, but he leaves this one for Keters. It's deflected wide. Elastic paying his life for it, though. Slasher. No chance to get a touch on this one. Sammy to follow. Creation Station are less than 30 seconds away from a back-to-back grand finals here in the Pinnacle Cup. This season sponsored by Soraxus Network Sync. Elastic. Love that first touch. He's got to find another one, though. Won't be able to do so. 10 seconds to go, and it's cleared all the way back. Creation Station go back-to-back in the grand finals. They may have an hour off, but their spot is confirmed. They're in the grand finals. A 4-0 sweep over PDFU. That could not have been any better.
It's just absolutely beautiful from them, just out of thin air, created probably one of the most dominant performance that we saw here in the Pinnacle Cup playoffs. We talk about that 4-0 sweep from PAWS up being good. That one was a close series. This was the complete opposite. It was the Creation Station doing what they do best. It was the Creation Station just playing probably like they might be the champions already before we even get to the grand finals.
Yeah, man, that was quick. That was decisive. And you said it, the first real one-sided matchup. That it never felt like PDFU ever got things sorted out. So Creation Station are going to take this one. They're going to advance to a grand finals. It would be their second straight season of making it to the grand finals. They'll play the winner of PAWS Up and SP Starbreakers. And for being such a quick series, my goodness, Creation Station, I mean, no questions today, I think, on that performance, that it could not have been any more dominant. They played a team, I think, similar to them in playstyle, and they've proven, just like they did last season in the semifinals, you cannot beat Creation Station on rotations alone. You cannot beat them on teamwork alone. You're going to have that X factor, something else to carry you ahead. Clearly, PDFU didn't have that.
Yeah, it's just something about the Creation Station, just the rotations that they have. It's just so unstoppable at times, just watching the way they play. But that is going to be an absolutely amazing series. A great 4-0 win to put them into the grand finals. But we will have our next matchup here. It is going to be another semifinal. Our last semifinal is SP Starbreakers versus PAWS Up. We will be right back after the break. Do not go anywhere.
With a heart full of thunder, don't ask why or how. In the ruins of glory, find your ticket to ride. It's a roller coaster, baby. Buckle up for the ride. Get it, come get it if you think you can. Break through the noise like a madman. There's a fire burning deep in the night. Get it, come get it if you've got the night.
Yesterday, all matches felt like they were quite close. Today, our first semifinals felt quite the opposite. The Creation Station is now back-to-back in ATS Pinnacle Cup Grand Finals, and this season, in the Season 6 Soraxus Networks Inc. Pinnacle Cup, they did it in style, 4-0 over portable document formats. That was dominant, Araufbeastrl.
Yeah, everyone. So, and I don't think any of us expected just that dominant ZekVexol. I think the only one really able to see that series going the way it did. It wasn't just a 4-0. It was just a absolute dominant 4-0 sweep. I've not even seen it or go this way in the ATS Pinnacle Cup in the playoffs so far. I think the closest we've had was PAWS up versus Dino Sqaud. Even that one, that was close between the two in the individual games. It wasn't as dominant as PDFU had to face against Creation Station. It's just the Creation Station, they were just on point.
What did I say? I'm just saying, it's written in the... I'm on analyst desks for a reason. Been following these teams for how many seasons now? Unbelievable. 4-0, 4-1 if they're trolling. Was flat out the words I said. I said, I'm not joking on this one. I said, I'm gonna not even play it safe. And okay, well, maybe a 4-2 in favor of... No. 4-0. One if they troll, okay? They decided not to troll. Thank you very much for that, because it warms the heart even more when you see a team stick it all the way through, lock on in, and close it on down. Well played right there. But it ain't over just yet. You still got the grand finals against a very dominant other opponent, okay? And who is that going to be? I mean, PAWS up versus SP Starbreakers, Sporty. It's going to be another fun one.
Yeah, our next semifinals here and our last as well. PAWS up, SP Starbreakers. PAWS up have not made it to a grand finals yet in Pinnacle Cup history. And it feels surprising that this team, of all teams, didn't make it to you. But it would make sense if you remember that they had to play Underdex Knight last season and lost them in a very close semifinals. That was a match that was the most difficult for Underdex Knight all season. But for this season, though, it feels like things are definitely going in their way. This is a very favorable match for PAWS up, because SP Starbreakers yesterday, nobody expected them to make it to the semifinals. They are a Cinderella story if there ever was one, taking down KCG Chaos. Simply put, for SP Starbreakers, you mentioned Chip, ZekVexol, but it's going to take a whole team effort here if they're going to have any chance of taking down the PAWS up roster.
Yeah, I definitely look at this SP Starbreakers roster, and like I said, if it does go to the grand finals, if we do see this SP Starbreakers team make it all the way, Chip is going to be the person I have my eyes on from SP Starbreakers. However, there's a really big however, and it's sitting across the pitch from you, okay? It's this PAWS up roster. They're going to come out swinging. They're going to come out rolling. I didn't expect SP Starbreakers here in the semifinals either. I was watching the KCG Chaos game going, oh yeah, you know, right off the rip, this is clearly going to be KCG. I was favoring them too beforehand. I ain't going to lie. And that was also before I knew that Ant wasn't going to be there, you know? But to each their own. I'm pretty sure we were all on the same page of like, yeah, we've definitely made our picks if Ant was here. Honestly, I think I would have made the same decision even after. The difference is SP Starbreakers are here in the semifinals going against the 6-0 undefeated PAWS up roster. And you guys were talking about Pigeon and how phenomenal he looks flying through the sky, and Slayer being a great, well-rounded person, okay? But I was watching Taco Stash after Taco Stash after Taco Stash after Taco Stash yesterday, okay? It was goal, left and right. I mean, how many hat tricks can this guy pull out? And the only reason I knew he was getting hat tricks in game is because I kept seeing his explosion animation on the goal. All right, I know this roster is going to be pulling up here tonight, and I know they're going to be winning it in a very dominant fashion.
Well, it sounds like you're already making your predictions here. We're going to hold off on those predictions just a little bit longer, but while we do wait a little bit longer, Araufbeastrl, in this match, we've already talked about SP Starbreakers. We've already mentioned Chip, but for PAWS up, this is a team that can sometimes get a bit carried away with keeping matches a bit closer than maybe they should be. Yesterday, they had a tougher run with Dino Sqaud. They swept them, sure, but every game was close. This is a PAWS up team that generally doesn't win by dominant amounts. I mean, this series feels like one that they should, and yet they, again, are a team that generally wins close. That sometimes comes back to hurt them here, but right now in the season, ZekVexol matches are 6-0. They're actually now, at this point, I believe, 9-0 through all their matches. So this is a team that is perfect this season. They have not lost. They have not dropped anything, but in close matches, if they're not up to scratch, teams can take away a couple games off them. Against Beantop in the final of our qualifier, they had that issue. They went to game 6 against them. I think for SP Starbreakers, their job here is to win the close battles that they get with PAWS up. It's going to be close. PAWS up generally aren't a team that wins by a ton, but That's where SB Starbreakers, they need to come in clutch. They need to come in swinging. That's not an easy thing for the Starbreakers team to do it, but they're the last hope for Solace Path. They've got to come in clutch for this team, and they've got to come in clutch in the moments that they need to.
It's definitely going to be a very interesting one, but at the same time, this is the thing that's interesting. If you look at Starbreakers versus Dino Sqaud, they actually faced each other in the group stage a little bit earlier. That did not go Starbreakers' way. And then you look at the PAWS Up versus Dino Sqaud series. It's ipso facto, it's going to be PAWS Up easily, taking this one away. Starbreakers, they saw Dino Sqaud getting eliminated yesterday. That was a 4-0 sweep for PAWS Up. Now, not exactly, I guess you could say, an equivalent team. They did fall to Dino Sqaud, so it looks like it may be even more in PAWS Up favor as a result.
That $300 prize pool is up for grabs. The grand finals is there for only one of these two teams. Well, ZekVexol, since you were so smart last series and now being all smug about it, what's your prediction this series?
I'm gonna drop it again. I'm going back to back. I'm doubling down right now. I'm putting the mortgage on black and saying 4-0 PAWS Up. I don't play it safe here, and I know they won't, okay? Even looking at, like you mentioned, Arauf, Sqaud Up, Dino Sqaud. There we go. Mixing the names together. Watching Dino Sqaud sit there in the round of 16, pull it on through into the buy-ins, and win a nice 4-0 fashion. Looking great. Okay, cool. But then you end up going into that PAWS Up roster and get 4-0 to yourself, all right? This is a team who's already shown multiple times this season that they'll just close out the series, all right? There ain't no trolling to be had. Lock it on down, lock it on in, win your semifinals matchup, and go against the other team that 4-0'd. Give me another 4-0, baby.
Araufbeastrl, what's your prediction here as well? What do you got? Sounds like you got PAWS Up. How dominant do you think it's going to be then? Because you said it's going to be a dominant win. Tell me, first of all, how long you think the series is going to be. And also, if PAWS Up does show up, who is it on that team that shows up? I think yesterday it was tough to choose an MVP out of that series for PAWS Up. But again, by the end of this night, we got to have an MVP, an MVP player. We didn't I mentioned for PAWS Up Slayer, but who do you think it is for PAWS Up that that needs to show up for them, not only in this match, if they were to win, of course you think they're going to win, but in the grand finals against the Creation Station that, at least for last series, looked unbeatable?
The first thing we've got to think about here is KCG Chaos versus PAWS Up. We saw them in round 1 in the group stage. That definitely did not go KCG's way. And I believe that was a series that had Ant playing in against PAWS Up. And even still, if that's the way it went and SP Starbreakers also struggled a little bit more against KCG Chaos, I don't think PAWS Up even has a chance. I think I'm going to go with the ZekVexol here. It's not just going to be a 4-0. I'm going with his prediction, actually, from the last series. It's going to be a 4-0 dominant win. Maybe they give up a game if they're trolling.
Well, it seems like our Araufbeastrl has been converted by ZekVexol, of course, mentioning the PAWS Up quarterfinals from last season that took on KCG Chaos. They will not be taking on KCG Chaos in the semifinals, but they will be taking on SP Starbreakers. And you know what? I've been converted to ZekVexol as well. We're all ZekVexol now on the desk. I've got a 4-0 for PAWS Up as well. I think the Cinderella story for SP Starbreakers is too good to be true, and I think PAWS Up are here to make a grand finals, what would be their first in team history. They didn't do it last season, but they could do it here. And I mean, I have them winning as well, so I can't exactly deny what this team can do, but that means we're just about ready to get things going here. ZekVexol, what a series we've got coming up here. PAWS Up, SP Starbreakers, Creation Station waiting, but one thing we haven't mentioned as well is that the fact that because PAWS Up, SP Starbreakers are playing second, they've actually got a bit of an advantage. Teams that would go second in semifinals oftentimes start out the grand finals a little bit stronger.
You're coming in, you got to think, into the grand finals already hot off your previous matchup. So being able to make it to that point is going to be very nice for whoever takes the outcome of this match. And obviously, with the way the desk is saying 12-0 in favor of PAWS Up is pretty nutty, and I'm sure maybe if we have some other people here as well, they kind of be on the agreement path with us. I gotta say, this PAWS Up roster, they've been very dominant, okay? Here you gotta lock it on down, win this in a nice sweep, nice and quick. I guess maybe not too quick if you want to ice Creation Station a little bit. Maybe there's some 5D chess play that we can think about when you talk about it in that way. It's like, oh yeah, Creation Station, they got to wait for their matchup, ice them a little bit longer. Don't troll too much. So we can still take the 4-0, and we don't need the 4-1. We all want to be right on the desk now.
Yeah, and you said it as well. We've all been converted to ZekVexol here on the desk, but of course, we still need to see what kind of version of PAWS Up we get. I'm almost certain it's going to be the same roster from yesterday as well, being Slayer, Taco Stash, and Pigeon. Yesterday we had some questions about what we would see out of Pigeon for this series, what we would do for this team in playoffs. But from what we saw yesterday, Pigeon looks good, and realistically, I talked about Slayer being a leader, but when it comes to on-field performance, I liked what I saw from Pigeon. I liked what I saw from Taco Stash. That is a ruthless offense right there, those two players. And Slayer, as he normally is, again, is a guy that can position himself perfectly. This is a team that's tough to break. Slayer's really tough to break down, and he's going to let Pigeon, Taco Stash do whatever they want on offense, because if you know anything about Pigeon and about Taco Stash, and especially about Pigeon, these are guys that kind of just like to do whatever they want, and it almost always works. They're just that good, and they're just that consistent at doing what they like to do.
Yeah, when I'm watching aerial plays go on across the pitch, I'm like, is it a bird? Is it a plane? It is a bird. It's Pigeon, actually, you know, making his way across the pitch, locking that one on down, just dropping every single area play, the spikes that come on through, the doubles off the back wall, the solo carries clean across the pitch. Those are the flashy plays. You're going to watch Pigeon be the flashy player. When it comes to the misdirection, when it comes to those odd angles, okay, when it comes to those beautiful rebounds, the secondary plays, the direct shots onto the openings, okay, those are where I'm watching Taco Stash lead the ball, okay? But then there is Slayer, all right? The fun thing about this roster, and I will say in comparison to Creation Station, is this third player, a very well-rounded Slayer to reel in the children who love to run around and do what they please, okay? Sometimes you really need that well-balanced person to go, okay, no, kids, come on, no, don't touch that. Okay, no, okay, stop it. That's our goal. Don't score there. Okay, you know, and you really got to make sure you have that person as Slayer to set up, to put the ball in the right spot, to maybe be that person. Whatever you need that third person to be, Slayer is filling that role phenomenally, okay? Great shadow defense, great rotations, and great synergy with this roster.
I don't know how Slayer feels about being, you know, called a dad when I think he's only in his mid-20s, but
I know dads in their mid-20s, yeah.
I was going to say, congratulations, Slayer. I guess not only are you able to balance college, you're also able to balance being a father to Pigeon and Taco Stash. But in all reality here, you're not wrong about what Slayer does. That he does play that sort of like calm role on a team that can be a bit chaotic at times. He wants to make sure that he really sets this team's pace. This team, while they have chaotic players, Pigeon's definitely a bit of a chaotic player, Taco Stash can be quite chaotic. Slayer makes sure that this team is rotational and is rather refined. They just don't try to do anything crazy, and Slayer makes sure of that. So, in a tournament like this, that's going to be really interesting to see. I think Creation Station are pretty similar, although they are a little bit more leaning towards that chaotic side. We're talking about this PAWS Up team being all based on kind of that lawful side. You're not going to see a lot of chaos from this team. SB Starbreakers need to lean into that a little bit more, but need to make things different. They've got to be the chaos here, because PAWS Up aren't exactly going to be shaken by SB Starbreakers based on individual skill, but SB Starbreakers, again, I think the key to success for them is you got to be clutch. You got to have clutch goals. You're not going to win by a lot. You're not going to win this series by running over them. This is not KC Chaos, who struggle in playoffs. This is PAWS Up, who clearly know what they're doing in playoffs, who are good enough to do well in playoffs. Realistically, the key for SB Starbreakers is they've got to score clutch goals. They've got to score them when they come, because if they don't, you know, there's a real chance PAWS Up can take this series and take it as they like.
I think the thing I'm going to want to see from SB Starbreakers is be that chaos, okay, but be in a different way, all right? You're going up against this PAWS Up roster, and we talk about them being calm, cool, collected, and locked in. How many times have they really swept throughout this season? Not just to mention in this playoffs in general, just yesterday, in case you guys weren't watching. And again, we're going to ask, why weren't you watching? Make sure to go check out the VOD after this series and the next, okay? You're going to want to make sure to see those. They were great VODs. But you've got this well-rounded roster of PAWS Up, and they don't like to leave too many openings. They play clean, they play by the book, and then make sure to close it down out, okay? As SP Starbreakers, like I said, how do you go into that team? I don't think it's by playing by the rules. I don't think it's by playing by the book. I think they're going to outclass you. I think PAWS Up is going to outclass you if you try that, okay? Maybe a little Demolition Derby, okay? Play some Hunter Killer. Just start removing people from the field and see what happens, all right? Just shake them up a little bit and give me a little bit of excitement. One, I like the explosions. I like demos. So maybe I'm saying this more for my personal self. But two, I also think you might rattle the cages of PAWS Up just a little bit if you give them something they're not really used to, okay? I think the best defense can be a good offense when you're going on that aggressive demo style gameplay.
They're getting some updates here. It seems like PAWS Up may not actually have their full roster today, so they might actually have a sub instead. That would likely be Adverse, if I had to guess who would be subbing in. So that makes things a little bit more interesting for PAWS Up. Not only have they not had a ton of time to practice, they also might be playing with a substitute. So for PAWS Up, just making things a little bit more difficult for them. Reminder, Grand Finals is right after this, so in theory, you want to make sure you play with the roster you're going to play with in the Grand Finals if you're paused up. Not doing that means you got to reset everything. You got to get your, if your starter does show up, you got to get them in, and you essentially don't have that warm-up that maybe would be the semifinals after this win. That advantage sort of goes out the window if you're playing with the substitute and then need to sub them out. But for pause up, I mean, they've been through tough situations. They had to play with the sub basically all of last season in playoffs due to, the loss of Royals. They had to have adverse. So it's not that this team isn't used to adverse. They are. They almost made Grand Finals with adverse. It's just that you really don't want to do that. For your own good, you want to set the momentum well. And against the hot creation station, you want to make sure that when you come into that, then you come in with the momentum. That may be all gone now for pause up if they don't have the 3 players that they're used to and instead need to have a substitute. We'll see who they bring in, but if they have to play with a substitute, that's going to make things a lot more difficult for them. They're not going to have nearly as much time to warm up and prepare.
Yeah, one of those things I was mentioning just a moment ago, okay, if this pause up roster does make it into that grand finals position against Creation Station, I'm really banking on that third man position, okay? That formality, okay, that wholeness that pause up has had throughout this season and playoffs, okay? I'm banking on that to make that a very solid match against Creation Station. Without that sort of wholeness, that consistency, okay, that togetherness. Granted, like we're saying, adverse, well-versed in the roster. Adverse, well-versed in the roster of pause up. A lot of potential here, just not a main position on that roster. And I feel like the chaos of Creation Station might be able to rip apart even just the slightest bit of openings there. If we look back towards yesterday, where we were watching the KCG Chaos game versus SP Starbreakers, very ironically enough, how did SP Starbreakers come out on top right there? I honestly think a big part of it was the fact that KCG Chaos wasn't with their full roster. I don't want to bank it all on the fact that Ant was in there, as much as I love giving him a little bit of crap to, think about. The closer that I am with that team and I end up doing stuff like that. No, I am not saying, oh yeah, it's all Ant's fault. No, I do think there was a little bit of lack of synergy in that KCG Chaos roster that we saw. If we see the same from pause up today, here in the semifinals even, I think it's going to be a switch up in the grand finals. I do think it's going to be difficult against that Creation Station if, again, pause up do make it to that point. I do think that's going to be an opening for SP Starbreakers here in the semifinals, actually.
Yeah, it definitely will be here for SP Starbreakers. For pause up, though, I also wouldn't be surprised if they play with Spooky. And if the roster is, and I don't know who's missing for this team, but if they do not have a player, it could potentially be, if Spooky's the one who's subbing in, it could potentially be Slayer, Taco Stash, and Spooky. And that's the Shawnee State Esports. Sorry, it's the Shawnee State University team. So they may have to wait the full Shawnee State team. That's still scary for SP Starbreakers, because if Spooky's your sub, and if the roster is Slayer, Taco Stash, and Spooky, that's a team that has a ton of chemistry. Even with their substitute, that's a team that plays together a lot. I think you're right back to where you would be if it was Slayer, Taco Stash, and Pigeon, a team that will be able to outclass you, but you will see much more rotational, maybe a lot less pushy on the offense. Might give a little bit more room for the Starbreakers, but for Shawnee State, it's just a different playstyle, but still just as scary of a team in many respects.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're locking it on down. It's not going to be easy no matter what you're up against. We're talking about mechanical skill here for at pause up, individual mechanical skill and team-wide mechanical skill with adverse, okay, with Slayer. There's a combination on this team, even with Spooky, like you were mentioning. There's still synergy with these rosters, even deeper into their roster. It was kind of a weird way of putting that, but yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. There's still synergy across the board here. It's not going to be a large hole, but I do think it is one that can get targeted, and I think it's about time we target it right now, Sporty.
Yeah, it is, and we are getting an update. It is the Shawnee State University side that is going to play here, so it is Slayer, Taco Stash, and Spooky, all players on Shawnee State. They were all... Spooky wasn't here actually last season, but he is here as a player this season, and already Shawnee State. Now, again, the pause up roster on the blue side. It's SP Starbreakers, the last remaining hope for Solo's path to win a tournament this season on the Orange. The Grand Finals waits ahead. Creation Station get to sit pretty, but they'll be paying attention to who wins this matchup, obviously, as indication of where they will go next. And for pause up, being a team at this high of a caliber, you know they're going to be feeling pretty good tonight. It's not a great play there for Hams. Percival on the back wall will be chip waiting as well. Look at all this offense already. And Shawnee State, very slow out of the gate here. Very passive. Not very passive, I should say, but very slow. Very contempt. And again, they're just looking to let their kind of quality of play do the talking. They're not trying to rush things. They're not trying to do anything fast. Unlike what we saw out of the creation station. They're just looking to make sure it's all based on quality. They do the best plays possible and make sure that those plays fool SP Starbreakers.
Okay, come on. Kingdom Hearts isn't the only place that's going to be simple and clean for us. So, you know, we'll make sure to bring it on together here. Over to the sidewall and SP Starbreaker side of the pitch. One thing I do like, we are still seeing PAWS Up play that aggressive style, okay? It's not the fast-paced, chaotic aggressive. It's calm, cool, collected aggressiveness, okay? They're knocking on the door, but it's a nice little, hello. Hello, can we come in right now? As they teeter along this goal line, I can't say how many times. I feel like this ball has barely crossed the center line. Even right now. Okay, we're going across over the PAWS Up pitch for just a moment. Slayer on the rotation gets the pickup here. Over to the left side corner, going to bounce his way towards the center line. Immediately stopped by Taco Stash. The pickup, the force by Chip to the side. And look at that. Spooky volleying it right on. Over to the back wall. Denied by Hams. No double to be had there. We're a little close to that 2-minute mark, though, Sporty. And is that an open? No, it's not. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, I'm not surprised we're not going to see a lot of goals. Unlike last series where we saw high-flying offenses, this one you're going to see a PAWS Up team that sort of chips away slowly. They don't win by much, but the one thing they do, though, is they make sure that you don't get many goals on them. So they're going to just, you know, play this sort of chip style. They don't need a lot of goals to take victories, and I think Starbreakers know that. If they've been paying attention yesterday, they'll know that this PAWS Up team doesn't need a lot of goals to win matches, but they will at least need one here, and halfway through the game, they have not been able to do much on offense. That's a big opening, though, and Taco Stash jumps in. Aaron's missed touch for the Starbreakers, and after now 7 shots of PAWS Up, they will hit their net, they will hit the targets. It was a mistake, but they all count the same.
Man, SP Starbreakers just left the barn door open right there, wide open, and invited PAWS Up to get that opening goal right at the halfway mark here. 2 minutes 30 just now getting crossed. Still half of game 1 to go, but look at this, right in front of the goal. Not going to get the second one. Slayer not able to get that angle. Still, though, PAWS Up in the offensive position. A pop-up over to the sidewall, picked up by Hams. Finally trying to get the clear. Ain't going to happen, though. Spooky to volley right back. Taco Stash sets up Slayer to the sky. The drop on down, and a multi-man defense is enough, but Taco Stash picking up this rebound over the left side wall.
SP Starbreakers are all right now sitting in their net here. All 3 players sort of standing on the goal line and playing defense. You're just not going to get out of your net that way. Now, it's another double commit from them here. Starbreakers right now, their rotation is being played with, and just look at how far back there. Clearly, they look scared right now of what PAWS Up can do. They know how good this team is. They're not coming in fearless. They're not coming in nearly as confident as they were yesterday when they took that win. This is a scared SP Starbreakers. One way or another, they got to shake this away. They don't have a coach on this roster, but they're going to need to find some way to get their confidence going, because it's just, you're not going to beat PAWS Up playing this far back in the net. You're not going to beat anyone playing this far back in your net, because you're just not going to be able to break out that easily.
No, you need to sit there and actually get a little bit of offense roll. And I think right now what I'm watching from SP Starbreakers is what I've seen from so many teams throughout so many leagues in the past couple of weeks alone, okay? And that's this, okay, we're going to sit all the way back here. We're going to, you know, pull you in a little bit. It's a 300 style, okay? We're going to put the shields up, play defense, and hope to God there's an opening that we can spear our way through, okay? I'm not seeing any spearing though, okay? 60 seconds left here. PAWS Up 1-0. As much as we say SP Starbreakers only need 1, so do PAWS Up.
Yeah, that's the scary sign here, that this PAWS Up team doesn't need to score anymore. They can win from here. They've won from here before. They don't need a lot to get their victories, and you gotta think, if you're SP Starbreakers, you gotta take your chances eventually here. Only 2 shots this game. That's gonna fall in, though. I don't know if that was a fake that worked or just a miss for PAWS Up, but that one got through. Spooky, and Percival puts SP Starbreakers on the board.
Absolutely wild, okay? Time ticking down in the final minute here. Just over 30 seconds left on the clock, and SP Starbreakers have found their one. That opening that they were looking for, and you know what I was saying? The shield and spear combination ended up working. Leonidas would be proud. Now down over into the right side corner for SP Starbreakers. Here comes the drop down. Slayer, Taco Stash can't pick that one up. Left side corner now cleared away by Chip. This one's a volley down over in a PAWS Up corner. Cleared now by Taco. Not for long though. Percival finds it, looking for the setup. Ain't gonna get it though, and who's downfield? It's a wide open goal. You can't do that against this PAWS Up roster.
No, but look at the touch from Taco Stash. That's going wide. The reaction time to get there, unbelievable for PAWS Up. And in a game where it feels like they're playing 2-on-3 with Spooky sort of still in his still warming up, PAWS Up, it's been close, but that goal might just seal victory. Off the kickoff, Hamzalini will be saved by Slayer. Spooky to clear, will get to the ball in time. Bit of a heavy push up for PAWS up. At this point, all you need to do is let the ball hit the ground. Chip, who was probably the best player on Starbreakers yesterday, trying to keep things alive. It will hit the floor from Slayer. That incredible redirect from Taco Stash is enough to take game 1.
Man, just right position. I'm not even going to say right position, okay? Taco Stash swooped into that one, all right? Was able to get the backside of the ball, boosting over there, and flick it on back. Beautiful redirect coming on through to close that one on out. Now, if you're looking at PAWS up right now, you're sitting in the back going, okay, that goal that we did give over to SP Starbreakers, definitely a wide open window, all right? Maybe we got to close some things up. Realize, all right, you know, we can play some aggressiveness, but maybe it's only going to work if we're on that offensive rotational style right in front of the goal. Looking at the other side, SP Starbreakers, same thing. SP Starbreakers, get off defense. What can I say? Okay, you can't sit on your back foot playing inside your goal. You're losing resources. You're not getting boosts, and you are under fire constantly by this PAWS up roster.
Yeah, you said it. SP Starbreakers, too much defense in that game. You're just not going to get upfield. Look how many shots that PAWS up had because of this. It is 8 shots from Slayer on his own. It is, if I'm not wrong, 14 shots total from PAWS up. Seriously, you're just not going to win letting a team have that many shots on you in one game. SP Starbreakers said they got to break out. They've got to be a little more fearless, and they got to trust each other. Just play on your own. Be able to play a little bit of one-on-one. It's not favorable against PAWS up, but realistically, you're going to have a better chance playing one-on-one with them, spreading out a little bit more than having all of your players packed to the net and just hoping that PAWS up make the mistake, because if you're sitting that far back, they're not going to make mistakes. This is not a team that makes a lot of them. You're not going to score a lot of goals, and even when they do make mistakes, you're not going to be in the right spot to take advantage of them.
I'm going to take it and I'm going to look at what we saw right there. If I'm SP Starbreakers, it's a lot harder, okay, for you in your position to sit there and make this gap, to bring it on back, to go and start playing that offense, than it is for PAWS up to sit there and look at that one little opening they gave you and go, okay, we just got to clean that one little thing up, all right? Real nice and simple, right off the rip. We're 6 seconds in. And that's going to be opening goal going on over to PAWS up, leading it right here in game number 2. Once more.
It may have been a mistake from Hamzalini, but Spooky's going to feel really good about that one. I mean, he had basically no time to warm up for this thing, and you could see in game 1, he just couldn't get involved. He wasn't really feeling it. That's a goal that, for a player, again, who didn't really have time to warm up, who wasn't expected to be on the roster and play today, he'll feel good about that one. It's going to get him some confidence, and in a match where he needs to, get some confidence, this team's going to need him to show up. He's going to need a little bit more. That's not a good touch, though. Boy, he got version on that one. A mistake from Spooky almost gave a goal to Hamzalini. Starbreakers, that's one you need to take. Because as I said before, PAWS up don't make him a lot of mistakes. They aren't going to give you a lot of goals like that. You really need to take that one. Hamzalini is going to be regretting it, because this could come back to really hurt them, because you're not going to get many chances.
No, you're not going to get many chances. You need to take them when they are there. I mean, even just like in the last game where you did take the one, that was phenomenal. That was one, okay? Now you got to bunker down, lock it on in. It's 1-0 here. Still under that 60-second mark, but look at this Spooky taking to the sky, looking for the drop on down. Taco Stash now over in the left side corner. They get the pop-up. Slayer takes to the sky. The carry across gets a little bit away from him, and Hamzalini is going to get the clear.
Off the back walls, Taco Stash. Chip there as well. Play won by Taco Stash. Spooky trying to find him. See that pass just got away from him, but Taco Stash in the right spot. That, if it just connects, it's a 2-0 lead right there. PAWS up, not looking to back away at all, though. Slayer, high, booming touch. Chip won't have this one, and for how good he's been, Chip has been absent in a semifinals that this team needs. They need Chip to show up, especially. He's the strongest 1v1 player. He won the 1v1 Apex Cup. Boy, has he not looked good, though. And speaking of 1v1 talent, he's not the only 1v1 player in this grouping. Slayer, Taco Stash, both part of the Pinnacle Cup for the 1v1 action. Both of them lost the quarterfinals. Of course, that event eventually won by a Joshi. But it should tell you, again, that PAWS up is here and is ready. SP Starbreakers choosing to play for time as Spooky plays across the Taco Stash. Slayer right behind him will let this one fall. Taco Stash with room. Ceiling shot blocked by Chip, but again, SP Starbreakers, you can already tell, sitting further back, having all the players playing on the goal line. They're starting to regress back to what they did in game 1, and it's not working still.
No, they were just getting an opportunity in this game number 2 to just play a little bit of offense and immediately regressing right back to that defensive Turtles comp strategy. I'm sorry, you gotta make sure to double down, really step on the gas pedal and put the pedal to the metal right there. Now, an opportunity, maybe. Drop down right in front of the goal, swatted on away though, not gonna happen. SP Starbreakers can capitalize on that one as we head on back over to the orange pitch. Not for long though, hams to the sky. Maybe blocked by Taco Stash. Slayer on the goal line will be enough to keep that one away. Chip on the pickup, like you said, need this player to come live. I feel like I'm looking at Hamzalini and Percival the most right now. I feel like I'm calling their names out. It just feels like if Chip can get up to par with SP Starbreakers even right now, I feel like the offensive pressure might get turned up swiftly but steadily. But I mean, when you let things like that happen,
yeah, it feels like hope's running thin right now already. Percival taking his chances. It won't work, and Chip, who's usually the most defensive player on this team, at least it feels like for this series he's been the most defensive. He's already got 3 saves this game, not there to save him anymore. SP Starbreakers, you can tell right now, just being completely outplayed right now. And while Creation Station's dominance, I think, was a little bit more surprising. This one we all expected, and right now, this series is going exactly how the analysts predicted. It is dominant from PAWS Up. They are not holding back. They're not letting up, and they're not even really batting an eye. They're looking to the grand finals at this point. They're not really focused on what SP Starbreakers are doing, because clearly it is not enough to threaten this PAWS Up rotation.
Yeah, I don't think they're letting up, but I do think I'm seeing SP Starbreakers give a little bit more, okay? And I'm talking about this game 2 in general compared to game number 1. Game number 1, I honestly am gonna say it. We did not leave SP Starbreakers' goal, okay? It just didn't happen. That box was the entire pitch for the whole game. It was brutal. It was offensive. It was PAWS Up dominance. Now here in game number 2, I'm seeing life in SP Starbreakers. Earlier on in the game, I would say like the first minute and a half, we're watching them push back, get over to PAWS Up side. Granted, not getting any goals, but still making a little bit of life, showing a little bit of energy here. Now getting their first goal here in under 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Bringing this back to a 1-goal difference. PAWS Up, all they got to do is hold out play clock, but this ball's in prime position for PAWS Up to get another one.
It would be here, and with their last series having been a sweep against a squad that, I mean, we rightfully called out as being a solid performer in this final bracket. SP Starbreakers need to put up a little bit more of a fight, and they've got a minute to get a second goal. Only one away from tying things, but they're going to need to push up, and they're going to need to take chances, at least here. Still only 3 shots this game. You compare that to the 7 of PAWS Up, 4 of which from Taco Stash, who's right now been the best offensive player for the PAWS Up roster. On his own, he's been able to carry this team thus far, but as Starbreakers, who do they have as their offensive showing? Percival will leave this thing back to Hamsley, the only one to score so far. Will not going to touch on this one. Taco Stash will wait. Chip jumps in. Percival sends it down the field. Spooky to block. Percival as well. Everybody on Starbreakers on very low boost, so it's going to take a very long time. They're going to be very slow getting to this ball, and with only a few seconds to go, that is not in their favor. Slayer takes a couple seconds off. Percival with some room, but Taco Stash to block. Percival's taken out. Taco Stash clears. This will end game 2. PAWS Up are now only 2 wins away from the grand finals.
That last minute and a half, it was PAWS Up, making small touches, okay? Not committing a lot of boost, not committing a lot of ground, not volleying that ball completely downtown like a little, child in a pee-wee baseball game, okay? You don't gotta beat that thing onto the other side of the pitch. No, I'm watching PAWS Up go nice and steady. Okay, we're just gonna touch it, put it over here. We're gonna touch it, we're gonna put it over there. Real steady, that way they can get back and maintain control. That's controlling the clock, that's controlling the pitch, and that's controlling SP Starbreakers. Like I did mention though, good life here in game number 2 from SP Starbreakers. They got a goal on board. They were getting offensive pressure earlier on. It didn't feel like they were just capitalizing on an opening from PAWS Up. It looked like they were seeing a little bit more action, a little bit more life, but you got to be cranking that up fast, okay? This is literally halfway through the semifinals. 2 more of those, you're done.
Yeah, it is. I said it. SP Starbreakers, if they're going to win this series, they've got to find clutch goals. So far, in the endings of both these games, they've not been able to be clutch to tie things up. PAWS Up now, 2 straight 2-1 victories. And again, even though they're both 1-goal differences, this PAWS Up team does not mind winning by 1 goal. This is a team that's more than happy to do that. They don't need to win by much. All they really care about is controlling the pace of play and slowly but surely wearing you down. It's in many ways similar to what we just saw from Creation Station, where they play the long game on you. But PAWS Up, the difference with them is they're all about quality. Creation Station likes to put some speed into things. PAWS Up likes to let the ability of this team, the rotations of the team, do their work. And both teams are just as successful in both those playstyles. But one thing that is true is that even when things are close, you still don't feel all too scared for their chances.
Now, pause up. They're able to keep this going. I'm looking at this roster. I've been saying it constantly. This is a roster who says, guys, we have to win. We don't have to win by much. We can win by 1. That's all. You know, we can win by 2. If we do win by 10, crazy. Can't believe it happened that far. But I don't ever feel like even if this pause up roster has the opportunity to... Oh, that's... Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm going to put that aside. We're going to put that one in the bin. We'll talk about it later, all right? I'll pull that file out. The solo carry across the pitch by Taco Stash, the flip reset, and then the rebound by Spooky to lock it down and in. Pause up are onto the board once again. First 30 in game number 3.
The mark of players at Taco Stash's level is being able to always find another touch on a play, even when it feels like you can't. And after that flip reset play, he was sitting on the back wall and realized the ball's right next to him, so he just went for the infield pass. Again, that's the mark of top-level players, is that they can find extra touches, even on plays that lower-ranked players won't. So that's something that you don't see any of the players on SP Starbreakers do. You don't find them seeing. You don't see them getting extra touches. But for Taco Stash, that's something that he's shown that he has a knack for doing this season, and he continues to show that anytime he's on the ball, he's always looking for another touch and another touch. He always has the ability to get another. That's something that Pigeon especially is really good at. He likes getting multiple touches on his plays. He likes always finding another touch, always keeping you on your toes. That's something SP Starbreakers have to take into consideration, that if Taco Stash is on the ball, anytime he goes for a play in the air, anytime he goes for a solo effort, he's always going to make sure that he sets himself up to always get one more touch on the ball, and then another one, and another, until you take it away from them.
Man, gotta take it away from them quick, though. I was talking about Taco Stash from yesterday. I was like, all right, cool. You had Pigeon, but I wasn't really seeing a whole lot of Pigeon. I mean, I saw some great setups, some great shots, some crazy plays coming in from Pigeon, but I was really watching Taco Stash just pull it on through and be the score leader of day number 1 for this pause-up roster. Slayer getting himself on the board, though. Look at that, a nice little fancy light show going for him. A 2-goal lead back over for pause up, and that's dangerous territory.
And again, Chip having to play all this defense. He's already got 2 saves this game, so Chip himself, while we've been talking about him, and how quiet he's been, it's more been an offensive sort of quiet. He was such a good goal scorer yesterday. Today, he is really having to play all defense. So that top scorer for SP Starbreakers, at least from yesterday, their best offensive weapon, he's stuck on defense. And that means their offense, as has been for the last 2 games, just isn't there, isn't showing, isn't online, because their striker is off playing defense. And clearly for Starbreakers, they need him to play that defense. The games have been close because Chip has been able to make blocks. Unfortunately, though, Zuck, this is all to their favor right now. Look at how much they're swarming the net. They're right now all sitting right around the box. They are that confident they're going to get the ball back. And Starbreakers low on boost. Taco Stash has Spooky. He's looking for 3-0, but it will go wide. Slayer to follow. Will beat out the play from Hams. Doesn't get an easy touch on it, though. Cleared away by Chip. But still, pause up possession. Spooky to clear. Slayer to the back wall. It's Hams who will be next to follow. SP Starbreakers rushing out of defense. They just can't get play. The boost is low. Almost always, it feels like they're on low fumes. And Chip, again, having to play that goal line defense. Can't play on offense where he was so good yesterday.
Man, I'm watching this SP Starbreakers roster, and I do feel like I'm going to say this. They're looking at this pause-up team, and every single touch, obviously exaggerating, obviously, 75% maybe more realistic touches are shots on goal. Look at that, another one. Look at that, maybe another one set up right here by Taco Stash. It's literally back-to-back-to-back pressure from this pause-up roster. If this ball is touched once, they're going to try to put it in the net with that. Now a carry up to the sky. Hams ends up getting pressure, but look at that. Taco Stash playing the line, gets the pickup here. Chip the strip away over to Hamzalini. Drop on down, Spooky for the clear. To Taco Stash to the back wall. Look at that. Right towards the goal. A secondary by Spooky over to the left side corner of SP Starbreakers.
Yeah, pause up. You said it. They are threatening every time on offense. They're threatening something. There's a reason why the Starbreakers team just doesn't want to leave their net, because they know if they do it, there's another shot coming, and then another shot and another, and they just can't seem to handle it. Big breakaway for Slayer. Hamzalini off the back wall. It's Taco Stash again, and here goes another play. Feels like right now it's survival for Starbreakers, but even then, they are not getting far with that Taco Stash. A flip reset double tap, and that's how the night's been so far for SP Starbreakers.
I was about to say earlier on, way back, you know, at the start of this match when that first goal, I'm going to take that file right on back out and bring it back up, open it up, and actually finish what I was saying. I look at this pause-up roster, and I don't think they feel like they need to go for every goal, okay? I feel like they'll take them if they're presented to them, though. I don't feel like they're like, we need a 10-0, guys. We gotta dominate them just that badly and really put them in the bill. I feel like they'll take the ones that they need and they'll be happy with it. Under 60 left, Chip ends up finding one. We got the striker for SP Starbreakers off the defensive position and got him over onto the right side of the pitch. That's going to be the first one for the Orange on board.
I guess Starbreakers, one thing they can be happy about is that they have not been shut out yet this series. Unfortunately, that's not the only good thing they can say about this series so far. They have been absolutely decimated, and we may be in for a semifinals that's more dominant than the last one was. I didn't think that would be possible with how well we saw Creation Station play, and yet it feels like we might be in for an even more dominant semifinals. Chip, though, takes it down the field. It's a very light touch. Will be Percival back in his ship. He's had a couple goals yesterday. The shot's wide, and there's no follow-up to it. Cleared back by PAWS up. They're going to take a good couple seconds off the clock just here. SP Starbreakers need all the time they can get. Right now, they're not getting anything. And here goes Spooky. Here's a 4-1 lead, and that should end game 3.
Yeah, the nail in the coffin. Not like 3 goals ago wasn't the nail in the coffin. Honestly, for PAWS up, it felt like that opening one was a statement enough. Good thing, though, for SP Starbreakers to get one back. But right now, this is a very, very done position here in game number 3. I mean, there's no really better way to put it. If you're SP Starbreakers, you got to take this back. Honestly, I would sit there and take the pause. Got to take the timeout after this game. And I don't even think much needs to be said. I honestly think if I'm SP Starbreakers, I'm taking that timeout and I'm taking a breather. Yeah, Spooky, whatever. You do you. I'm taking a breather, okay? And I'm saying, guys, we know what we're doing. We know Rocket League. We're in the semifinals of the Ascent Tournament Series, season number 6. Look at that. Nice and fun. The final ATS semifinals. We're here for a reason, all right? We know how to do this. Let's just calm down. Yes, it's PAWS up. Yes, the entire world is against us. Yes, the entire desk is against us. Yes, the entire chat is against us. But that is more reason to pull it on back, to lock it on in, and to make something happen and prove them wrong. You can beat them. Stop playing scared.
The Starbreakers did take a tactical timeout yesterday, so we know they're capable of it, and of course, they're taking one here, so they are going to take a tactical timeout. We didn't see one at all last series, but they are available. Each team has one per match, so I don't think there's any surprise. Starbreakers taking one here, and you said it. We'll see what they do, but I wouldn't be surprised. I would agree with you. I think they're just going to take this timeout literally as a timeout, not talk to each other, just walk away, try to think of anything but the last couple of games. And if I'm Starbreakers coming in this match into the game 4, it's about having fun at this point. Try to have fun with it. Go in, just do something completely wild. You have had no chances to take this series so far. Go in, do something unorthodox, do something weird. If it doesn't work, who cares? Just end. Make sure you end this thing on your own terms, on your own play calls.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 plus 5 is 9, plus another 4 is 13. I'm just saying, it's been like that all series long. Yes, this PAWS up roster are not getting out of that offensive position. Game 2 looked much better, but I feel like this game number 3 sunk back towards that game 1. It does feel like an SP Starbreakers roster playing scared. You gotta just zone on in. This is another team. I don't care if this is NRG, for Christ's sakes, okay? Yeah, they won the World Championship. Who cares? There are 3 other people who play Rocket League just like you. Any given Sunday, it is Sunday in a few hours.
No, it's not.
Any given Saturday in a few hours. Any given Saturday in football terminology, you know. Just pull it on together. I mean, I really don't think there needs to be anything else said. I mean, I can't talk mechanics. I can't talk, you know, individual play style, team play style. The whole system right now for SP Starbreakers needs to be get off defense, stop playing scared, make offensive plays. I said it at the start. You're not going to be able to beat this PAWS up roster playing textbook Rocket League. You need to startle them. You need to shake them up.
Yeah, as you said, they need to do something unorthodox. They need to do something completely different, or else their run will end just as fast as the run of portable document format was in the last series. A timeout just about over now. So, you know, time's running out. Options are running out for SP Starbreakers. They must win 4 in a row. But at this point for them, it's about going out on your own terms if you do go out. For PAWS up, only 1 win needed. This is game 4, and this is it. They take this, they take the series, they go to the grand finals for the first time in team history. For SP Starbreakers, the last remaining team on Soul's Path, the last remaining team, by the way, on an organization as well. This is a big moment for them. They've got to get the victory.
You know, you made it this far. Why not take the extra step? Go to the grand finals. That's what I'm looking at for SP Starbreakers. Bring it on down. Lock it on in. Get me in their comms, and I'll give them some motivation if they need it. Spooky taking a shot towards the back wall. Hamzalini taking to the sky to block that one away. Slayer for the drop on down. Denied by Chip. Here's the pickup. The 1v1 against Taco Stash. The pop-up over the top. It dings off the top bar. It's cleared away by Spooky.
Every time SP Starbreakers seem to have a perfect chance, they just can't seem to score it. Great defense from Taco Stash. My goodness, for SP Starbreakers is another big opportunity though that they need to do better on. Again, you're not seeing many of these opportunities, but you've seen a couple of them this series so far. SP Starbreakers have just not been clutch in the chances that have been given to them, and you know, PAWS Up aren't exactly looking to let them have another one of those plays. That's a big play for SP Starbreakers and a big one, and a big save for Taco Stash. PAWS Up have yet to give SP Starbreakers a lead in this series, and it will continue, at least for now, to look that way.
I'm seeing a little bit of something here. Come on, just keep bringing it together. They're realizing I'm seeing the lights flicker. All right. They changed out a couple bulbs. Now it comes down to turning on the power. SP Starbreakers back on defense. Okay, you know, it gets the block. That's good. That's what you need. Almost an immediate caster curse as I open my mouth. Hamzalini on the pickup off the goal line. Taco Stash for the denial. Keep an offensive going. Oh, no. The back wall, the spike, the double on down, and there's that exploding scream. It's Taco Stash, baby, to get the opening goal for PAWS Up here in Game 4.
And what I love the most about that is that you knew it was going in as well midway through that double set. The oh no, that could not have been any more perfect. You knew immediately there was no other place that ball was going except in the back of the net, and Taco Stash feels like it feels like this is his playground right now. He is just doing whatever he likes and however he likes to do it. He may even get another one here, beat by Hamzalini though. Slayer will take the challenge. Chip to the side wall, and SP Starbreaker is already down by 1. This is not a good sign. Chip trying to fool them. He almost found Hamzalini on the back post, but no chance to score there. SP Starbreakers keep the ball, but PAWS Up at this point, patient as can be, are just looking to get another, looking to keep things going. It's, oh, a pass. Spooky wasn't there. It was a great call for Taco Stash, but a bit late. Had Spooky been on the same page, that's 2-0 right there. A perfect call for, a good call for Taco Stash, just a bit late. Spooky wasn't ready.
And approaching halftime here in game number 4. PAWS Up looking for that 4-0 sweep that the entire desk predicted, okay? Taco Stash in the left side corner. Gonna get the pickup here. The pass across the board. Slayer lurking on the wall. Gonna volley it right on back. Tries to get the solo carry. Denied by Chip along the goal line. Spooky back up to the backside. Again, denied by Chip. The solo carry across the pitch. And, oh, well, over to the sidewall, I do suppose. Chip to Percival, Percival to Chip, Chip to Flick, Spooky to deny. Down in the left side corner, rebounded by Hamzalini, and that one's going to get carried away by Slayer.
Yeah, we had so many concerns about Spooky coming into this series, you know, being the sub, not having that warm-up. But again, you can see that Shawnee State University chemistry really coming out in full force. You're not seeing double commits. You're not seeing rotational errors. SP Starbreakers you are. And this team, you can see a couple plays where they're just not on the same page as each other. For Starbreakers, sorry, for PAWS Up, it's a lot less so. You can see a lot better, a lot cleaner on that rotation. And what I like so far is that they recognize how Taco Stash is playing. They recognize that he's playing very well. He's the offensive player, and he's getting things done. And you're seeing Spooky and Slayer both kind of let him play that offense. They're not forcing him back. They're not making him play a rotation. They're sort of letting him just play the offense. They know that he's playing well. They're letting him play well. It's that kind of chemistry, it's that kind of trust that allows teams like these to stick around as long as they have been and be as good as they have been for that amount of time.
I talk about momentum-based teams. Taco Stash is a momentum-based player, okay? I guarantee that his team is sitting there in the chat, his coach is sitting there in the chat, his family's sitting there in his ears going, hey, yeah, you know what you're doing. As soon as you get up, let's boost you even more. Let's let you know how good you are. If you're a player who's feeling himself, let me tell you how scary it gets to see a player like that on a roll, on a streak, and keeping that momentum growing, okay? Spooky able to find one right here off the assist from downtown, the thread underneath, and that is a 2-goal lead. Sporty, there's 64 seconds left right now. Nail in the coffin, question mark?
Not yet for SP Starbreakers. We think another goal against them will almost certainly do it. Slayer will play that play up the corner. We'll go back in field, and SP Starbreakers, this is not a great place to be. Chip is slowly running out of room. Hamzalini will play it upfield as Spooky to follow. Last hope here for SP Starbreakers. Percival only to Taco Stash. Hams will get to it first, but no real concerns here as everybody waiting back on PAWS Up. Shot goes high. Taco Stash will collect, and he'll make sure Percival has to earn the play. Infield to Spooky, this could end things. It's a roll down for Slayer. He'll wait and shoot, and Hamzalini stops him short, but now inside funnel. The last half a minute could be the last half a minute for SP Starbreakers' life in the bracket. Shot is in. Slayer will be the Grim Reaper to SP Starbreakers' run.
Okay, Sporty. Nail in the coffin question mark?
Definitely.
Okay, look at even Chip's like Chip and Hamzalini both stopped. They're like, yeah, there's no fixing that one. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, pause up, 3-goal lead, 16 seconds remaining on the clock. 4-0 sweep, pause up. I'm just saying, chat, I got a thing for figuring these things out, all right? I'm just saying. Sporty said we'll give it to him because he's cocky. We'll let him decide first. 4-0, 4-0. Let's see what Grand Finals has to offer.
Pause up, a 4-0 sweep, and they didn't really make it look close. I think the only question I have to ask you now, ZekVexol, after this series, was this more dominant than the other semifinals?
I'm going to say no. And I'm going to say that because I felt like it took a moment for Pause Up to get the ball rolling, bringing Spooky on in. Okay, get him warmed up, get him on in. But once there, it did feel like we did see Pause Up play very confidently together. Okay, I do think there's a lot on the back of Taco Stash right now, and I'm going to be making sure to keep my eye on him going into the grand finals. But what I was looking forward to, seeing this grand finals of Pause Up going versus Creation Station, was going to be the Wombo Combo double, okay, of Pigeon and Taco Stash getting rounded up by Slayer. I'm not seeing that right now, okay? I'm looking at the other side, all right? I'm looking at the Wombo Combo of quite literally just peaky hotshot, okay? Honestly, just this double mechanical, high-skilled player gap right here going head-to-head against Pause Up. I think it's going to be difficult in terms of what I saw. I do think the semifinals matchup between Creation Station and PDF was a little bit better in terms of intensity and decisiveness. That's the word.
That'll be something fun to talk about in On the Desk when we get to it next. But for us, we do have a grand final set up and ready to go. So we are 6 matches done, only 1 left here in ATS and ATS Season 6. The Soraxus Networks Inc. Pinnacle Cup Grand Finals is up next. Pause Up, Creation Station. We'll see who takes it all.
I'm stuck inside of these walls with you. I don't recognize who I've turned into. I'm losing hope and getting myself back. Everything around me is starting to turn black. Don't tell me you're hurt again. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me how it's all my fault. Yeah, I've met my match again, starting from scratch again. Where's the pleasure in all this pain? Don't you lie to me. Say it's all okay when it feels like I'm
but you don't say much. You call shots, then you flinch at the touch. I went quiet, you thought that you'd won. Funny thing, game's already done. They don't shut me up, silence still cuts deep enough. You can turn me down, but I still get louder. They don't shut me up, every scar is proof I stuck. You can take your bow, I'm the hidden winner. In it for the background. In it for the background. You need crowds just to feel that high. I need breath just to choose my side. I lost you, but I found my skin. Say I'm gone, watch me still get in. They don't shut me up, silence still cuts deep enough. You can turn me down, but I still get louder. They don't shut me up, every scar is proof I stuck. You can take your bow, I'm the hidden winner. In it, in the background. Winner in the background. Say what you want, I heard it all. You raise your voice, I raise the bar. You dim my light, I learned to glow. I learned to glow in the dark. Winner in the background. Lose it, don't shut me up. Silence still cuts deep enough. You can turn me down, but I still get louder. Lose it, don't shut me up. Every scar is proof I stuck. You can take your bow, I'm the quiet sinner. Still the final winner. Winner in the background.
Come over here. I see it in your eyes, I feel it in the air. I know you're going through it, you know I've been there. But life is like a highway, it ain't always fair. It's how you persevere, chasing the wind. Gotta love it while you can. In the moment, let it in. No holding back, can't pretend. Chasing the wind. Gotta love it while you can. In the moment, let it in. No holding back, can't pretend. Look at you now. You finally did it, finally made your mama proud. Yeah, they doubted, but the fire never drowned. Your haters in the crowd, all eyes on you now. Chasing the wind, gotta love it while you can. In the moment, let it in. No holding back, can't pretend. Chasing the wind, gotta love it while you can. In the moment, let it in. No holding back, can't pretend. Your friends, they talk, saying you should be the one to stop. They say you're wrong. Don't you let them get into your thoughts. They're gonna tell you anything, but that's not the way you should think. You're a star, gonna win it all. Chasing the wind.
Ascend Tournament Series has been around for a couple of years now, starting only a few years back. I mean, our social media even mentions we've been here since July of 2023. Through 6 seasons of action, we've crowned many champions, but only one match remains in ATS history and on the coveted ATS awards. This is the end of the Ascent Tournament Series Season 6 and the end of the Ascent Tournament Series Soraxus Networks Inc. Pinnacle Cup. The Grand Finals is here. ZekVexol and Araufbeastrl to my left as always. Let's look at our bracket here. Our final day of action so far has been rather lackluster. 2 straight sweeps and 2 straight dominant sweeps, to say that. ZekVexol, PAWS up 4-0 over SP Starbreakers. You mentioned it wasn't as dominant as the Creation Station match, but honestly, maybe that just speaks to how dominant the Creation Station match, because PAWS up never looked like losing.
No, I kind of said it at the start of that. If we were going to get into that with PAWS up, they were going to play that one calm, cool, and collected. And I honestly, even with a sub coming on in there, I think that's exactly what I got. Now, I do want to double down and say, I do believe it was a little bit to get that ball rolling. Spooky, honestly, belonged in that roster before. Ain't going to be too big of a difference. It was just getting back into the swing of things for that PAWS up roster. Once I saw that, honestly, I thought it was very phenomenal. It was nice and clean, exactly what I was looking for. But that Creation Station team as well, I gotta say, you know, they're a team who wants to just shove it down your throat and rally the score. And I think it was pretty straightforward from there.
Yeah, you said as well. I think so as well. Araufbeastrl, PAWS up, taking down SP Starbreakers. I don't think we were too surprised about that match and how things would go, but PAWS up Creation Station, this is a big one. I don't think people are super surprised to see this, but for Creation Station, they lost last season in the Grand Finals against a very formidable foe. This Grand Finals may very well be another one. Do you think that's in the minds of Creation Station, the fact that they lost here last season and, of course, could very well lose again?
To be honest, you say that this might be a possibility. They are thinking about it, they want to get back, but at the same time, I don't think it's really on their mind. I think they're just going to tunnel vision, just focus on doing what they need to do. Only one best of 7 that they need to play out, and that's just all you need to worry about here if you are the Creation Station. The same way with the PAWS up roster, they're used to this kind of thing, and to be honest, you've got Pigeon on that team too. Pigeon, probably one of the best players that we're going to see out of the Ascent Tournament Series, especially out of the Pinnacle Cup. I mean, you've casted for him with Team Silence in the RLCS. You know how good of a player he can be, and he's just going to look at this as another grand final.
Well, the question now, obviously, PAWS up, Creation Station. A lot of players so far. I asked at the very beginning of this segment, who's MVP caliber? I'm going to ask it again. Who's MVP caliber? ZekVexol, tell me one player, and only one player. Don't be like Whiskey Glitter yesterday and mention everybody on a team. Tell me one player who is going to be the MVP by the end of this Grand Finals. Make a prediction now. Of course, by the end of this Grand Finals, we actually will have an answer for all of you. But tell me, who is that MVP player? Who's the player you got to watch? Who's that player that right now is playing well, that needs to play well to get their team to victory? Who is going to do it?
You know, when I look at season number 5, I look at season number 6, I see one person just kind of riding the waves at the top. All right, everyone's surfing down at the bottom, and this guy's sitting up at the top of the waves says, hey, you guys all look fun down there. It's been peaky. There's really no doubt in my mind, all right? I'm talking shots, I'm talking saves, I'm talking assists, I'm talking demo. I'm like, everything across the board, this guy is a scored leader in that fashion, okay? I've got to give it to Peaky in that aspect. And it feels so, I'm like, man, I really want to give it to somebody who's well-rounded, a nice growing player, someone who's, really brings the team together, or even somebody who's just stood out today or yesterday. I just can't when I look at the way that Peaky's been consistent across both seasons, and I'm going to throw it on Twitter later if it happens. Hashtag Peaky is peaking.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta agree with you there on that one, ZekVexol. I do think it's gonna be peaky, but I don't think this is gonna be entirely my choice. This one's still gonna be a close series between these two teams. So I don't think picking Peaky as the MVP is gonna be the fact of just that Creation Station roster is just that good. But I think just Peaky is that good of an individual player that it may be, if the Creation Station do take this, it's going to be Peaky carrying them up all the way to the top.
I'm surprised you both didn't mention Taco Stash. He's been so good at this playoff bracket for PAWS up.
Well, that's why.
I'm surprised you guys haven't mentioned Taco Stash at all. He's been such a good. That would have been my pick for who I think could be the MVP coming into the series to kind of make the difference for PAWS up. Taco Stash, he's been here for all their matches, and he knows what he's doing in all these matches. I mean, he has been the lifeblood of the offense. The life of PAWS up has ran right through Taco Stash and whatever he does on the ball. Credit where it's due. Spooky and Slayer played well, but there's a reason why last series it felt like they just kind of let Taco Stash play all the offense, because he is right now on a tear. So we'll see what he does, but we'll also have to see what these teams can do. Pause up, Creation Station, one last best of 7, one last match to settle the deal, and one last time to crown a champion, a new champion of the Ascend Tournament Series. This is the end of the end for ATS, the last match in history, and I'm a little nervous, I'm a little bit sad, but boy oh boy, we have come a long way, and I'm looking forward to this one here. Pause Up are confirming Pigeon is available for this series, so it's going to be the roster that we saw dominate yesterday that will be here in the Grand Finals against the Creation Station roster that so far has made it their way through, took down 2 opponents, took down Herix Knight. The question now, for the last time, who's going to win? Araufbeastrl, ZekVexol, your last predictions, tell me now.
You go first this time.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a little bit weird one. Actually, I think I'm gonna stick with my guns here. I know a player or two from that Shawnee State University roster. I know Spooky almost personally. I know he's gonna want this one to go his way for his team. I think Paul's Up's gonna take this one now. I don't think it's going to be a sweep here at the Creation Station. Their rotations are solid. They don't allow any plays off the backboard. That's kind of the curse that you saw from the two teams so far that Paul's Up has played. They've had the opportunity to get the space that they needed, but this Creation Station squad still could force a Game 6 or even a Game 7 against Paul's Up, but I still think it's going to be Paul's Up that can't take this.
Okay. Now, chat, I'm not going to say I had 2 back-to-back 4-0 predictions. I'm not going to say chat was saying ZekVexol knows ball. But this one is a difficult one. I ain't going to lie about that one, all right? I'm not going to be saying 4-0 on this one. This one took me a little minute, okay? Yeah, I do think it's a little bit of a safe bet to go with, but I do think it is one that I can confidently say 4-2 Creation Station. I'm looking at them coming out on top on this one.
ZekVexol goes for Creation Station. What did you say, Araufbeastrl, again for Pause Up?
It's going to be a 4-2 for Paul's Up. I do think it could be Game 5 for Paul's Up if they're a little bit stronger. Creation Station can't really keep up towards the beginning, but if Creation Station brings it, even if they do bring it, I think it's just too solid for Paul's Up, and they'll just do what they have to do.
Well, the desk is split. I guess that means I have to be the tiebreaker here. And I am in a predicament because I honestly don't know. But if you asked me before today, what does that Pause Up? No question. But that performance from Creation Station looked so good. It's so tough to call, and I think it's going to be very, very close. I'm going to will a Game 7 into existence. I know whenever I say that, it never happens. I want to see a Game 7, but I can't make the choice. So you know what? I'm not even going to make the choice. I'm going to let the coin flip make the choice here. That's not one. We just have to.
That's the homework folder, Sporty.
Yes, no, it's not. That is someone giving me a message at a bad time. I'm going to do a coin flip, though, okay? Let's coin flip this thing. So I think people can see it, right? It's on screen. People can see it? Yeah, they can.
Yeah, we can see it.
What's that fourth one down? No.
That fourth one down says coin flip simulator. Anyways, here we go. Coin flip. Flip a coin. It says, what does it say, guys? Tails. Yeah. That means Creation Station. So I'm going to go Creation Station then, 4-3.
I'm just going to put this out into the world chat. He never said who was heads and who was tails. So
that is fair. I did it. Pause Up was definitely going to be heads. I'm so sorry. To be fair, we asked Creation Station yesterday, and Hotshot said he always goes for tails. So Hotshot is going to get the benefit on a tails prediction here.
Tails never fails.
Creation Station 4-3 because of that. But instead of all the shenanigans, instead of people messaging me at terrible times, we've got a Grand Finals of the tournament. ZekVexol. This is it. We're only a few moments away from getting into this series. Pause Up. Creation Station, the last match of the season. Let's transition in and let's get things going. Before we go in, is there any last comments you want to make? Anything else you want to say before we've got the biggest match of the season?
This is it right now, Sporty. I mean, I've been with you for how many seasons, across how many divisions, how many tournaments, and now Ascend Tournament Series is coming to a close right here between two massive teams, all right? Two well-known teams across the board. It's Pause Up versus Creation Station, and it all comes down to this, a potential 7 games, 2 people predicting 6. Sporty, a little bit afraid to actually give us a number, but does give us a team at the end of the day, and that's what matters, okay?
I will say, I did say it was 4-3, so I did say Game 7.
Oh, yeah, you did say it was my bad. My bad. Yeah, I forgot. You want it to go all the way. I'm going to be flat out with you. I want to see it, all right? I don't know how many times we have casted together on these grand final stages, and it has been 4-0 sweeps, okay? How many times has it been now where it's just been a dominant performance by one team, and we're like, yep, that was the grand finals. We had 2 4-0s already tonight, so I'm going to say we got those out of the way.
We did, and you know what? These players need to get their jitters out of the way as well. This is it! The Grand Finals is here, and these teams are for it. PAWS Up last season, fell in the semifinals, fell a match short of the victory. Creation Station even further, made it to the Grand Finals, and couldn't find their win. They both have broken past their demons. PAWS Up, their first Grand Finals in team history. Creation Station, their second and their last opportunity. PAWS Up, 6-0 through the regular season, perfect through the season. Can the record go one more? Creation Station, not too far behind, and a playoff bracket that has looked all but exceptional. Does Pigeon have it in him? His, joining this team in PAWS Up only for this final bracket, only for playoffs. Does he have it in him to get the last victory, or does Creation Station avoid another tragedy? Can Hotshot and Peaky and Keeters win a championship that has eluded them for so long? Seasons have passed, years have passed, and now here is their chance. PAWS Up, Creation Station. We're only moments away from a Grand Finals, and a Grand Finals that will need to be decided. One best of 7, one last series, one last opportunity to prove your worth, one last opportunity to add yourself to ATS history, to the championship banner. This is it. This is the last match. PAWS Up, Creation Station, ATS ends here tonight. This is a moment in history, and this is Rocket League's finest.
This is Rocket League. Sporty's on the line. Look at that right there. Pop up to the back wall. It's PAWS Up on offense right off the rip here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm loving every bit of this. If there is a matchup to go to 7, it should be this one. That would be a legendary thing to see. I'm not going to double back. I'm not going to say, it's not going to be the 6 games I predicted, but I will say I would love to see it. And who other than Pigeon to get it going right off the rip, Sporty? A drop down from the ceiling. I said, is it a burn? Is it a plane? Is Pigeon in the sky, baby, to give you the opening?
Yeah, he's picking up where Spooky left off. He was quiet last series, Spooky, but he was quiet in making sure that rotation was strong. Now they've got Pigeon, who, has been the lethal duo on the offense with Taco Stash. We saw today Hotshot and Peaky lead the offense. They've got just as good of an offensive side on the other side. It's Pigeon and Taco Stash that they're going to have to contend with. Their infield pass, Keeters to keep it out. Double commit for Creation Station. And right now, PAWS Up, hold the offense strong. Taco Stash to play. It's Hotshot to clear. Pigeon will play this ball up in the air, and it's Peaky who wins the challenge. Room upfield, Hotshot passes it back. It's left rolling for Keeters. He'll play Slayer. Pigeon's right behind. Hotshot can't get to it. It's a bouncing ball. Peaky gets to it in fast enough, and it will be Creation Station right now. A lot of defense early, just waiting for the chance to show itself, waiting for that mistake, waiting for that opening from PAWS Up, because once it shows, Creation Station are going to find it, and they're going to take it.
Something I mentioned before, you're going to have your 2v2 matchup. I don't think it's going to come down to that 2v2 matchup of Taco Stash and Pigeon versus Hotshot and Peaky. No, I was saying it's going to come down to that third-man performance. But right now, it's not allowed to go down to that third-man performance. I do feel like PAWS Up duo of Taco Stash and Pigeon are being more dominant. Yes, they have Slayer to be that well-rounded figure, but I'm saying that high-flying, high-octane action duo of Taco Stash and Pigeon are being the more confident right now. Taco Stash trying to walk that one right on in, gets denied. Corner ball over on the right side of Creation Station. Shot on goal up to the back wall. Never mind. Now left side corner. Taco Stash for the pickup. The pop-up over the top and the denial as well. Peaky trying to get the clear, playing the 50 line. Slayer to the corner. The setup is here, and that one is going to get ultimately denied. Back into the corner. PAWS Up still playing this offense. Creation Station, they're not allowed a chance to breathe.
No, they are. They haven't gone out of defense. No shots for them so far. Pigeon already with 3. And PAWS Up. 1 goal up, but you feel like it won't be that way for long. Shot! Oh, it's off the post. Deflected wide by Peaky. In goes Hotshot with a fast break. It will be sent to the side, and Pigeon has it again. The Bird's got the ball, and he's got a player in field. Dribble. Pigeon still moving upfield as Pigeon. Keeters will be next. He'll hold the ball for the Creation Station as he finds Peaky. Played back. Peaky clears it across. It's a $200 prize pool all on the line, and Hotshot will take to the skies. It's Pigeon who sends it away. Pinch with Slayer. Peaky next, and a 1-goal difference while Paws Up may have all the offense so far. All it takes is one good opportunity. Creation Station have done magic before. Can they do it again?
They've made it happen. They've gone up against some big dogs, and I'm talking that 100x Knight matchup just yesterday. Pigeon the carry across the pitch once more. He's being and claiming aerial dominance right now here in game number 1. Only a minute and a half left on the clock with Paws Up. Like we say, they know they only need one. They know they don't need to rally score. It's nice if they get it, but they're not going to be looking for that. Beautiful shot. Dings off the right corner, though, and that one's going to bounce its way on away. Pigeon for the pickup, stripped away by Peaky. Taco Stash trying to make something happen here, but where's the rebound? There it is. Keeters sending it right back over to the corner. Taco Stash is waiting for it. Pigeon on the pickup. Going to walk this one right on down. Hot shot, denial, and it's just Peaky all day for the setup and lock it down and on in. It's 1-1 here at 1-1-1 on the clock.
Yeah, and it's a big opening too. You rarely see Paws Up leave that kind of room. Slayer lift prematurely. Thought Pigeon had it. That's the kind of trust you have when you're as good as Pigeon is. But even Pigeon makes mistakes in Creation Station. All bracket, it's one of the things that's made them so scary. If you make a mistake, they're right there to take it. Doesn't matter if you're Next Night. Doesn't matter if you're Paws Up either. You make a mistake, Creation Station so far are unflinching and taking back. And a hot shot! Taking the lead! A giveaway! And Creation Station strikes when they need it most.
Hey, I thought we were just saying you can't leave openings like that. I'm looking at the entire goal of Paws Up right now. You know what I see? Nobody from Paws Up. Wild right there that could happen. 1-2 switcheroo, heading right back towards Creation Station. Now a back wall play off the kickoff. Taco Stash trying to make something happen just to tie it on up, but gets denied. Pigeon to send it right on back. Hot shot for the denial off the backboard. Pigeon bringing it on back. Setup is there. Can't get the pinch on down. It's going to be sent up top. Rebound by Taco Stash. Not a good angle there. Hot shot and Pigeon in the slow potential here in the corner. Pigeon the drop down. It's there in front of the goal. It's in, baby. It's in. It's tied once more.
Yeah, and Slayer, who's just waiting outside the box, taking his time. He knows if that ball's in front, he's the one that's jumping on it. Paws Up. Late game response.
Man, 2-2. 33 left on the clock. I want to say, oh, we're going to get overtime right off the rip, but with the amount of goals that have been scored in the past 40 seconds, 60 seconds, I'll say, we'll see 60. The past 60 seconds, I think there's potential right now for one more to happen very swiftly. What did I say?
You'll get your wish as well. Slayer once again, and again it's Pigeon who sets him up. I mean, you're just seeing an elite game right now for Pigeon. He's running laps around Creation Station. If Creation Station has any chance of winning, it's got to start by getting rid of Pigeon and his offense. 19 seconds to go. They'll need an answer. Play it down in front. Pigeon. He'll take his time. Slowly he goes. It's Slayer to the corner. Hot shot. With space, he's gonna have to get him on Taco Stash first. That play goes nowhere. Keeters, though, sent down. Pigeon stopped. He's gonna get through. Infield just slows it down and shuts it down for Creation Station. 2 late goals from Slayer, 2 late assists from Pigeon. Paws Up, win game 1.
Pigeon knows ball, knows what he's doing, okay? Gets out there on the pitch and really just turns up the dial. Doesn't need to be here in the last series to make it happen. The guy came in hot, was looking really good. That's exactly what you're seeing. I mean, take a look at that. 7 shots to Pigeon in comparison to 2 and 2 for Slayer and Taco Stash. Very well done, and it's going to come down to Creation Station to have an answer. I mean, you can't sit there and say, oh, we had that little bit of break in between our matchup and this one. No. That ain't gonna fly. That ain't gonna work. Right now, Paws Up are firing on all cylinders. They're putting the ball in the right spot. And now you have Taco Stash, who, honestly, I'm looking at today and yesterday. I'm gonna say Taco Stash was a very dominant performer across the board both days. I'm gonna even go out as far as to say yesterday, I don't think Pigeon performed up to that top level Pigeon that I know he could play at. I was like, okay, this is pretty average Pigeon right now. I do feel like he's picking up that dial from yesterday. You have 2 members over on Paws Up who are locking it on down and in, and Slayer is picking up the bar right along.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Slayer's picking up the mantle right now for that game. Taco Stash playing relatively more passive, and you can see Pawns Up. They're letting Pigeon and his mechanics do work right now. I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. Creation Station, if they want to beat Pawns Up, you gotta start by neutralizing Pigeon. If he's allowed to do what he wants, he's gonna score and he's gonna make goals happen. You've gotta start by getting rid of Pigeon and his offense.
I was a little bit worried about Pigeon coming into this one and possibly a little bit cold, but seeing that performance right off the rip, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit worried if I'm Creation Station. I said the 2v2 matchup is going to be very important. It's going to come down to that third man critical. Right off the rip, it's 7 seconds in. You hear the scream. You don't got to see the goal physically. You know it's Taco Stash.
Yeah, he didn't have a goal last game. He'll have one already. You said it 7 seconds into this thing. Pause up. Jump forward, leaping in the action. 10-0 so far this season. Oh, and you know, 11-0, not too far away for how this team is playing. Still, though, they're not done just yet. Taco Stash is not done just yet. Flip reset. Taco Stash! Oh, he almost got through all of them. 3 players from Creation Station jump. That's the entire roster. They get it out, but my goodness, if it requires everyone to stop Taco Stash, how on earth are you even going to get offense generated? Here goes a Pigeon. 2-0. Pause up. Running away with things. Creation Station need to stop the bleeding.
Man, aim 30 seconds into game number 2. Pause up, just getting the right angles, getting the right setup here, putting it on in the net. 2-0. Pause up in game number 2. They're leading the series. They're leading the game. Creation Station have been in difficult positions against very good teams, against very good players. I know they can pull this one on back. Sidewall play, left side corner. Looks like Peaky looking for a simple setup, but you're missing your third man with that demo right there. That's going to force a reset of pressure, and Taco Stash is just styling on them right now.
Yeah, he is, and I mean, Taco Stash, to be fair, with all the room he's got now with Pigeon taking a lot of his role, he's given a lot more freedom to do what he wants, and what Taco Stash likes to do is play, maybe not nearly as mechanically as Pigeon, but just play, again, that same sort of heavy push offense, but you can tell also he's starting to take a more defensive role. He's rotating back with Slayer a lot more often. Last series, it felt like he, wanted to stay up. He played a lot of offense. It was Slayer and Spooky who specifically let him play that way. This series, he's now sitting a lot further back. He's rotating with Slasher. You're seeing a mixing defense out of Pause Up, and Pigeon sort of just getting things started, being the first aggressor on offense.
It's kind of like what I was saying. You have Taco Stash and Pigeon to be your gunners. You got these guys playing forward, playing crazy good offense. You got Slayer to reel them in. Remember that dad comment we were talking about? No, get over here. Come on, score on their goal, not ours. Get the ball downfield. That's exactly what Slayer's doing. He is playing the actual like downfield setup, watching the game, seeing what his teammates are doing, controlling the pace right now for Pause Up, helping that one on out. But what a direct shot coming on through. Gets denied by a wombo combo. Double defensive. Pause Up. 2 minutes off the clock. 2-goal lead for Pause Up here in game 2.
Yeah, and this is so tough because, again, we've seen already Pause Up how good they played defensively when they're up with any sort of a lead. Nonetheless, a 2-goal lead. And, well, they're not done yet. They'd like to add another. And Slayer looking to do it. Splits it through. 3-0. Pause Up. Running away with things. We all expect this series to be close. Pause Up is proving it may be anything but.
Buddy, we're going to get that game 7 ever in our playoff brackets.
Pause Up are telling us that it won't even go 5.
That is wild right now. 3-0 here, approaching halftime. Pinch off the kickoff, over in towards the orange pitch, and ding, and down, and in. And I mean, it speaks for itself, right? How much do we gotta say? Watch those kickoffs. How many times do I have to say watch those kickoffs? I feel like I just need to get that on the soundboard right now. I'm gonna watch those kickoffs, watch those kickoffs, watch those kickoffs every single time.
Yeah, it is, and it's only made worse when Pigeon's the guy who's shooting, and he's got all that space. It's probably the last person you want taking a shot from that place. Although, Pause Up right now are proving, doesn't really matter who's shooting, you're in big trouble if you're Creation Station. They have just not been able to escape defense. Last series, we maybe chalked it up to, Pause Up getting a bit of an easier opponent in SP Starbreakers. This one, they are doing a masterclass on how you shut down teams at this rank level. It is winning the offense, it is letting your game speak for itself, and it is taking the 50-50s. They're winning the challenges, they're winning the plays in the midfield, and even when Creation Station does get upfield, it doesn't last for very long before Pause Up wins the challenge and takes the ball right back.
That's really unfortunate. Ball was in prime position right there for Creation Station, and they weren't able to capitalize on it. You're in a 4-0 position right now, and now a 5-0 position, all right? This PAWS Up roster are doing things like that, all right? Pigeon with the solo carry. Again, aerial dominance for this guy. And Taco Stash just comes on in because he's like, hey, let me get that scream on in there. There it is, the 5th one on the board for PAWS Up. Good teamwork. It just makes the dream work and PAWS Up. They're not dreaming, it's a reality.
Yeah, you're not wrong. At this point, it's reality. PAWS Up are dominant as ever here. Slayer reset. He'll be blocked by Peaky and cleared away by Peters. Hot shot to score. 1 goal for Creation Nation. At this point, though, they're down by so many. It may end up being a consolation goal, but if they have any hope in this series, they got to get a couple goals late in this game. Keep PAWS Up on their toes. Don't let them run over you, because this is a scary, scary place for Creation Station. They don't look like they have a grip on this series. This is a great point for them because there's not really a lot of pressure on them to take a couple goals back and let PAWS Up know they are not done.
I'm not going to say it's likely, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I am going to say it's closer towards the impossible than it is to the likely. Remember what I was talking about this PAWS Up roster? They don't have to get more goals. They know they don't have to get more goals. They'll get them if they're presented to them. What they do is play the clock very well. Even if you were looking at that last series where they had the sub of Spooky coming on in here, they were slowing things down, small touches, boost control, very nice, control the ball, and keep the ball down over on the opponent's side of the pitch. That's the things that I'm worried about. If this Creation Station roster pulls it back any more than this, where it's going to be total shutdown, lockdown for PAWS Up, and I'm already starting to see that even with the 1 goal on the board for Creation Station.
Yeah, you said it. It feels like right now, you said it, they're not too far away from just shutting down Creation Station once and for all. And hey, things have not looked good so far. Inside 1 minute, and Creation Station will hold the midfield for now. But look at this, immediately Pigeon and Slayer already up. There's just so much faith on this side of PAWS Up. Taco Stash just a little bit high as Hot Shot to clear. Will be Slayer, played by Hot Shot in front. Pigeon gets there. He'll clear. He'll run away with things, and it's pinched all the way back. Creation Station have only had 1 goal this game, but they may only get 1 goal this game. PAWS Up holding them down, keeping them waiting, and really just making life miserable. This is a miserable grand finals for Creation Station, and already I'm thinking they might need to use that tactical timeout.
I would definitely take that timeout. Some positives that I do want to take a step back and look at for Creation Station is, while PAWS Up only held Creation Station to 1 goal here in game number 2, Creation Station were able to get 1 on PAWS Up here and hold PAWS Up to none in the second half of game 2. So I mean, maybe I'm going for a little bit of a stretch here. All I'm saying is there was a little bit of lockdown, there was a little bit of something. Creation Station got to turn that little bit of something, a little bit of lockdown into a lot of bit of something, a lot of bit of lockdown, because right now, the way that I look at it, 6 shots to 16 shots ain't going to cut it.
No, you're not. And especially with PAWS Up, with the kind of offensive talent that they have, they're not missing either. You can have 16 shots and maybe not win, but PAWS Up aren't missing their opportunities. 5 goals, 16 shots is a pretty good shooting accuracy, and Creation Station knows that it is. They're not... The thing about Creation Station is they're a pretty smart team. They know that they're in trouble right now. No tactical timeouts called, though, so it seems like they're only going to take the minute in between the games. Whatever they saw that game, I haven't seen, because I'm surprised that they're as confident as they are. But Creation Station... now or never, really. They've got to win here, and really, I think they've got to win 2 games in a row here, or else I don't see a way they are able to win 3 or 4 in a row.
Something I do see, I think that stands out to me, is the triple donuts in the demo column over on that side, and then I see 7 over on the opposite side, all right? This Creation Station roster, I think, needs to start looking for some demos. Honestly, just get a little bit of that action in there, get some explosive action, and get the defenders off the board. I'm seeing a little bit of putting the ball in the right spot from Creation Station, but when you have a little bit of the ball getting put in the right spot and no getting the defenders out of the right spots, you end up with no goals.
Yeah, well, the problem is, the only way you can really get demos is by having prolonged periods of offense. Creation Station have not had that this series. PAWS Up have, that's why I think they've been so good at getting those demo plays. So, for Creation Station, the real problem for them is if they're going to get demos, they've got to have sustained offense. And in itself has proven to not happen this series, and you can tell it doesn't look like it's going to happen in this game either. Not at least how things are starting. Hotshot will win the challenge though, so here's a little bit of time upfield. Taco Stash clears a demo from Keters, but already sent back. That's how much time you get on offense for Creation Station. Demos aren't really going to be the way you win if you have so little time upfield.
I like it though. It's flashy and it's fun, and I like explosions because I'm a simple guy, and simple guys like explosions. So blow them up already! Drop down over into the left side corner, Creation Station's corner of the pitch now. Slayer on the pickup, playing that 50 line, and look at that, a strip away by Peaky. Denied though onto the back wall, no follow-up to be had. Now a secondary over to the back into the corner. Oh, just the bumps away. Creation Station aren't allowed to get anything moving here in this game, in this series.
Yeah, you said it again. They just are not getting things going. They're not getting out of the starting blocks here, and we're already in game 3, but Creation Station, there's still time for them, but that's not going to help them much. Hotshot gets back to it. Slayer jumping will be beaten. Creation Station with a little bit of room. What can he do to get around Pigeon? Well, Keters is going to play a little bit of interference, and it's still saved away. Pigeon dives to the rescue, PAWS up, keeping the game tight, keeping the game close. As long as they don't give up the first goal, they're looking pretty confident in getting a win.
Man, I just gotta say, get Pigeon off of this aerial dominance. Every time I see him, the guy's taken to the skies. Look at that, hey, what beautiful timing, Pigeon. I really appreciate that one. Pigeon up in the sky is just automatically, he's like, okay, reset for boost, go back into the sky. Reset for boost, go back into the sky. That's exactly what I see coming out of him. Over to the side wall, Taco Stash on the pickup here. It's dropping on down, Pigeon up in the air for it, sends it to the back wall. Is gonna get picked up by Keters. Never mind Peaky to find it now in the corner. Now for the solo carry. Let's see a little bit of something here. A little bit of razzle dazzle. Never mind. Denied by Taco Stash immediately. And a secondary strip away into the corner. The setup can't get the redirect though. That one is swatted away.
Yeah, just offense continues, and look at this. Just like conveyor belt of pressure right now. It is this PAWS up team that goes in over and over again, but only 3 shots this game. Their offense is definitely taking a step back, and there's a reason why they have not been able to score. Creation Station need to get out though. Only 1 shot on their side, and again, feels like that shooting mismatch continuing. A demo from Taco Stash. It's Pigeon. Hot shot again. Slayer will wait, and Hotshot will beat him. He's got some room in the air. Taco Stash gets there, following his Keters. He won't get that ball in time. Peaky, the #1 shooter, the #1 goal scorer this season in the regular season, and he won't have a chance either. Little options to work with. Creation Station low on time, still was PAWS up, no goals scored, but right now you have to think everything favoring this PAWS up roster. They've got more shots, they've got more opportunities, and they're holding the play upfield.
Man, holding it down and making sure Creation Station just can't get anything here. Hot shot now, the pop-up over the top. No, Keters can't get in there for that. Now left side corner. Hot shot's like, all right, here, let me set it up from over here. Peaky's like, no, can't get that one. Swatted away by Pigeon. Taco Stash up in the air, and now Keters a little bit of back and forth here, and down to the opposite side of the pitch. This is dangerous territory. Hot shot tries to send it to Peaky to get the clear on away from here, but then it goes from sideline to sideline. Finally, it looks like Keters able to send it right back down. Getting close to that final 60 mark. It's 0-0 in the score column. Shots, though, favoring PAWS up.
It is, and favoring them, I wouldn't say heavily or overwhelmingly, but favoring them unless we know that if they're winning on shots, they're going to get pretty good opportunities soon enough. Overtime is looming, though. 1 minute to go in regulation. PAWS up, just looking for 1. We say they can win with 1. They've proven tonight they can win with 1. But here goes Keters. He's been good all night. Double tap, got 2 to commit. Peaky couldn't find his angle. He was expecting Slayer to get there, so he didn't even think he had a shot on that play. And here it goes, Creation! Oh, what a save! Taco Stash off his own crossbar. This keeps the game going, and still it's scoreless.
Man, I'm not going to say that last one was the one that they needed. I'm going to say the one before that was the one that they needed. Creation Station, okay? They're putting the ball in the right spot. They're looking for the rebounds, and that might be an open. Good hot shot gets in there. Taco Stash a pinch down. Wrapped in the corner. Goes for the center here. Keters denying that and carry on across the pitch. A little bit of back and forth here on that 50 line. The demo on out, and I'm going to hold my tongue for a moment, and now I can finally say, we're going to overtime!
Overtime in the grand finals, and match point, quadruple match point for PAWS up if they score next. Creation Station, I said it, and I'm going to say it here. I don't think they're a team that's going to win 3 games in a row. They can win 2 though. This is a great place for them to attack. They've had chances. They've had the better opportunities as of late. PAWS up have had more offense, but as long as Creation Station can hold it, can keep their nerve, maybe, just maybe, they can find one here by the skin of their teeth. Keters, Pigeon will move, and he's got space. Peaky sends it back. The midfield right now being occupied by PAWS Up. Slayer just sends it long. You're seeing PAWS Up maybe starting to get a bit frustrated. Keters now, double tap. Oh, big save. Pigeon gets back to it. And here goes Slayer to take it away. Peaky can't get the ball. It's Pigeon. He's got the space. He's got Slayers. Hotshot again. Another block for a Hotshot. It's been 8 saves this game. Hotshot's got 2 of them. And now it's Peaky to clear. Pigeon got the ball. Offense for PAWS Up. He'll play this one high. He'll get the block on Keters, but Hotshot holds the ball. He'll play to Peaky. A chance. Taco Stash. Back to Pigeon. Nothing on it. And right now for Creation Station over a minute of overtime. Get out of defense, get themselves upfield. Here's a chance to make something happen.
Man down over onto the right side pitch, PAWS Up corner, getting close to the center line, denied by Pigeon. Gonna keep it out of that goalie box, out of that danger zone, but the drop down is here, right in front. Pigeon for the clear, sending it over to the sideline, but that ball still down. PAWS Up still on defense. See if this last looks like Keters will be able to force that one past. It goes from corner to corner though, over in the right side now. Hotshot trying to get the pickup here. Taco Stash instead gaining possession. Here comes Keters one more time. Pigeon on the back wall, demoed on out. Who's your last man? It's Peaky. There's the first goal. It's 2 minutes into overtime, and Creation Station have claimed a game.
Yes, they have. The first team to take a game up. PAWS Up all final brackets. Creation Station strike, and a little help from the crossbar as well. But who else to score but Peaky? He's been their top scorer in the regular season. He's been regular season MVP before. You need Peaky to show up, and boy did he. Overtime, and Creation Station have taken a game back. They needed this win. Now they have it. What can they build off of it?
What can they build off of it? I think there's a lot of potential here, and I'm looking at stats. They didn't lead in shots. They didn't lead in demos. They looked for opportunities, though. There was a lot of sideline to sideline play, even across the goal line, okay? Well, not shots on goal, but I'm watching corner to corner happen quite a lot over here for Creation Station. They were definitely getting the ball into the right spot. It feels like the way that you turn up this dial is by trying to take the initiative, trying to be proactive, trying to create those opportunities for yourself, your Creation Station. Make that station opportunities and create them.
Yeah, you said it. They've got to be proactive against PAWS Up. You're not going to beat them reactively. We saw SP Starbreakers try to play them reactively. It didn't work. They got shut down immediately. But Creation Station are playing proactive. They are making things happen. I'm a little worried, though. 1-0 isn't exactly going to be a scoreline that you want to repeat all the time. They can win 1-0, but let's be realistic. PAWS Up, I would like you to score at some point. If you're Creation Station now, you got to find ways to get more goals, not just one from Peaky.
I like it. I mean, it's an intense game when you get down to that 0-0 going into the finals, going into the overtime scenario, I should say. It's tense, okay? It's tense for the players. It's tense for us on the desk. It's tense for the viewers at home. Everybody's on edge, on the edge of their seats, trying to see exactly who's going to make the first mistake, whose thumbs are going to be cramping up first, who's going to allow, I don't know, a little bit of a pinch goal. And I was going to say maybe even just right off the rip, off the kickoff, since it'll only be the first kickoff since the opening one. Who's going to end up making that play, that one big star moment to close down the game? All you need is one, Sporty, and that's exactly what Creation Station showed us.
Yeah, you only need one goal. I just think they need to get a few more, but they can get the offense going. If they can keep finding their offense, if they can keep finding efforts, they've wounded PAWS Up. Now, can they add a little bit more? Pigeon, though. Oh!
Pigeon blew his way on through, and Sporty turned into Peaky for a moment. Oh, one on the board for PAWS Up here in the first 15, and I guess you got your wish. PAWS Up got on the board. Now it's time to see if they can maintain that to take us on over into that match point, map point, series point, season point scenario for PAWS Up. Creation Station, though, in prime position, toe off the corner, back up, the rebound, it dings, the double ding, that doesn't get it, they get out of there.
Saved by the post. That one doesn't get much closer than that, but Creation Station riding off of that high will keep it going. Peaky's demoed, though, and Taco Stash sends it to the orange half. Keters, Taco Stash, hot shot to follow. He'll get a second touch as well, so Pigeon the only one back, and Hotshot beats him too. Off the back wall, he'll leave it in front. Who wants the ball? Keeters leaves it. Peaky will need to jump in. It's played to Taco Stash, and Keeters gets the demo. Creation Station need to take the room. Hotshot will be there. Pigeon will be the first to go. It's sent across. Chances though for Creation Station, but right now they gotta get out of their own half. They have not been able to do that so easily. Boost starting to become a bit of a problem for them, but here's the clear from Keeters. And look at this from Pause Up. Look at how much respect they're giving them. You didn't see that kind of respect earlier. You didn't see them leave the midfield budge all that much. You've seen them do it here. They recognize this Creation Station team is the real deal.
They gotta get fired up. They gotta get the ball rolling. That's exactly what Creation Station needs to do, okay? They got one game under their belts, but Pause Up right now have one goal under their belts. Looking to make it the third game in a row. We saw it last one. All you need is one. A little bit of back and forth here. A little bit of volleying going across the 50 line. That one gets sent over to the side by Keeters. Back to the back wall. Oh, this is wide open. Denied it, though. Slayer gets the double commit from the defense. Peaky up to the sky. Over to the sidewall. Drop down in the right side corner of Crew. Pause up pitch. Now Hotshot up to the back wall. It's set up beautifully for the rebound. Get it, pinch it. Can't get it though. Denied.
Yeah, you saw that play from Hotshot. He knew that was going to be saved, so he had to get something to make the save a little bit more difficult. He's playing for the rebound there. Just doesn't get it. Now it's open. Peaky again. He just keeps on giving.
Beautiful, beautiful, all tied up. Creation Station 1-1 against Pause Up here. Plenty of time. Might as well be 0-0. I mean, if we go to OT in the same scenario, yeah, you know, might as well be the exact same. Kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. Watch those kickoffs. You know how they may go. A little bit of a demo off the rip. Some explosive action. Here comes Peaky in from the side. Hotshot to the back wall. Where's the follow-up? It's Pigeon to get it on away. Keeters back in the corner, the right side. Now it's picked up by Taco Stash, gaining possession as we tick over the 50 line.
Yeah, we do, but now you can see it feels like a shift in this game. Creation Station are so much more confident. They're not the timid team from game one anymore. They're here and they're ready to take over, but it's Pigeon. Redirect is just a little bit wide. Hot shot to be challenged. Pigeon's up once more. He can't shoot this, but he knows Taco Stash can. But a little too slow and a little too late. Pigeon killed on the field. Creation Station lay him out. And they'll hold on to defense. They don't mind waiting back anymore because they know if they can get upfield, they can score. They've got what it takes, but Pigeon has got a second goal. Creation Station left him all alone and Pause Up jump on it.
Look at that patience from Pigeon right here on the center. He's like, oh, okay, thank you. That's open for me. Give me that redirect. Let me send that right on in. Pause Up found their second. They got the 1-goal lead back in their favor. 1:48 left on the clock. Time taken on down for Creation Station. It's going to come down to seeing what happens off this kickoff. A demo. The ball goes to Creation Station. They get the pickup here. Hotshot forces his way on through. Oh, they can't get it, though. Taco Stash up to the sky. Over to the right side corner. Who's going to gain possession after this, though? It's going to be a big question for me. It's Peaky for the pickup, but Pigeon for the clear.
Yeah, it is. Then, man, this game has gotten into a frenetic pace at this point. Pause Up. Usually I'd like to play a bit slower on that side, but Creation Station's making them move a little bit faster. Peaky now just going to keep the ball moving, and Creation Station, you can tell, just keeping the ball moving. So long as they keep the ball, they can make this team move to their liking. They are controlling the pace of play. They just need to control the offense as well. 60 seconds left in regulation, and Creation Station would love nothing more than a goal. Who cares? They don't care who gets it. They just need a goal right now. Send this to overtime. Go back to golden goal where you won last game.
Exactly. If you're Creation Station, you gotta find the one. The difficulty, and it's a massive difficulty. It's exactly what we were talking about back in game one, back in game two. This Pause Up roster, when they have the lead, they know how to play clock. They know how to lock it on down. They know how to make sure ball control, boost control goes all the way, or just take the 2-goal lead. I guess at the end of the day, that matters too. 2-goal lead, 35 seconds, Sporty. Creation Station, their days, their time, their games, everything's limited.
Yeah, it is, and that's a big opening there for Peaky. Just could not get up fast enough. He side flipped. He didn't have the right angle on it. And that may just do it for Creation Station unless they've got a miracle in them here in the last 30 seconds. Well, it hasn't started off very well. Taco Stash already wins it, and he's popped this one off of Keeters. Peaky now looking for the double tap. It is Hotshot back in. And Keeters now to follow. Room with Keeters off the corner. It's a good bounce, but even a little too good there. Peaky couldn't get around it. Slayer clears. Taco Stash will let this ball fly. Creation Station need something, and they need it now. Hotshot and Peaky, 2-on-2. It's a bad pass, and that's going to end game 4. Paws Up are 1 win away.
Well, I'll say it right now. I'm not perfect on my predictions today. Not everybody can be perfect. I do my best to get close. 2 4-0s, who can predict that? I mean, I can, obviously. But this third one clearly did not go that way. Creation Station trailing by 2 to close us on out, to send us to, well, I don't know, match point, series point, season point. Sporty, it's ATS point, okay? This is it right here. This is it, baby.
This is it. You're not wrong. The grand finals all leads up to this. Creation Station must win 3 games in a row to avoid the fate of last season. In fact, last season, they lost 4-1. If they don't get a win here, they're suffering the same fate of the grand finals they did last season, only to a different dominant roster. Last season was 100 at X Night. They beat them in the quarterfinals. This season, Paws Up may be the end of the run for Creation Station. Game 5, only moments away, and I think what's important here is no tactical timeout call for Creation Station. Honestly, I kind of like that call from them. They looked good. Even though last game wasn't great, their offense has been good. They just need, if their accuracy can improve, they've already set themselves up for success. If their accuracy improves, I mean, Paws Up are beatable. They've already proven that.
I think it's not only that. I do think that Creation Station also realizes that Paws Up realize that they are pulling stuff together. They are trying to make something happen here, okay? And that is the respect that Paws Up is giving them out there onto the pitch. Sporty, 5 minutes up there on the clock. A couple of donuts in the score line. This is the match point right now.
And it may be the last of the Ascend Tournament series at this point. Paws Up only need a victory and 1 in these last couple of games if needed. Creation Station clinging on to life in the grand finals. Peaky so far has been their best striker. He's been their strongest goal scorer. Even in this grand finals, he's been their strongest goal scorer. But I need to see somebody else take the mantle as well. Hotshot, I need to see take those opportunities. He was electric in the semifinals. He needs to be here. But right now, it is in the net. Slayer with the credits. Paws Up, score first, and in a game 5 like this, that is disastrous for Creation Station.
Man, the first 60 is the most critical. It's the tone setter for the game, all right? If you can get past that point, take a look at game number 3. Creation Station, hello, go all the way full 5. Granted, I mean, you don't really have to do it that hard, but if you can get past that first 60, God, they can get 2 past that first 60 right now. Wild. All right, you know what? I'm sorry. Paws Up, just prime position right now to lock this one on down and become your new grand champions.
Yeah, they could be. They're only 4 minutes, 19 seconds away, and 2 goals up. A lead like this is usually a killer for most teams playing against Paws Up. But Creation Station haven't given up. They haven't given up all night when things have gotten tough for them. They're here. They're ready. They made it to the grand finals for a reason, and a comeback like this is a challenge they're willing to take. I mean, they'll have to. They have no choice anymore. Slayer, Pigeon, looking to make it free. He'll play it back to Slayer, and it is kept by Creation Station. Peaky, Keeters, Slayer holding the ball with room, and oh man, that's a great move from Slayer. He'll find Pigeon, and he'll find some space, trying to go one-on-one. Instead, he's been completely outplayed. A demo will slow down Creation Station and keep the ball to Paws Up. Still, they have given nothing to Creation Station. No shots for the orange side.
Beautiful demo coming through. That's going to slow down the momentum that Creation Station was trying to build there. Dropped down by Hotshot, and look at this back wall play. This could be an opportunity right now. It's going to be in the 1v1. The pinch away is there, and that is a clear from Slayer. An opening for Creation Station. They're just not able to get an angle on the ball. Now Pigeon trying to get this one on over towards the center, and Paws Up. They are great at playing time. Peaky to Keeters. Keeters can't get under it, though. Pigeon to send it on away. Hotshot on the back wall. Good slowdown of the pace, of the velocity of the ball. Coming in there by Pigeon. Now Hotshot wanting to clear this one out of there. Look at this. They're playing the 50-line, Sporty. They're not able to get this ball across the pitch right now.
Peaky keeps the ball, and Creation Station now starting to find themselves a bit more desperate. You said it. Paws Up are very good at wasting that clock, and they're doing just that right now. Wasting the clock by making Creation Station force them to make saves, force them to play defense. If they're playing defense, they can't play offense, and Creation Station just need some room to breathe. Infield pass. Keeters too slow. Pigeon played by Peaky. Keeters in field. Hotshot jumps in, but it's already back in the orange half. And up goes Taco Stash. Off the back wall, it's Slayer, and it's Peaky who's there. 2-on-1. Oh, what a free jump from Pigeon. Reads that perfectly. And Creation Station, even that won't go their way.
Man, looking for they're hunted. They're doing everything they can to try to put the pieces together, and they just can't find it. They can't create those openings that they're really looking for. Left side corner, pause up pitch, taken up to the sky by Taco Stash, and look at him. He's not moving. He's not boosting. He's just walking up with the ball. He's going to hold on to it that entire time. Delay the time, delay the clock, slow things on down. That's all you need to do. You have a 2-goal lead. You have the 2-goal buffer. Even one mistake is prime position still. I guess now you can have 2 mistakes. I guess I'm allowing it.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. It's a big opening and a big goal, and just all in there for Slayer. He knows Keeters doesn't have a lot of boost, so he just takes his opportunities, and now time really a problem for Creation Station inside 2 minutes.
Man, inside 2 minutes, 3-goal difference between these teams, and off the kickoff. Pigeon. Hey, I'm gonna say it, Sporty. Watch those kickoffs.
At this point, is there any hope for Creation Station? They're a team that has... They're the only team in this bracket that feels like they've been willing to mess around with the kickoffs. Maybe they tried it there and it just didn't work. That is going to be, I think for them at least, detrimental to this team's confidence. They'll need something though, and if they're going to go out, they want to go out on their own terms. Can they just get a goal at this point? Pigeon would love a 5-0. He'll lay it down for Slayer, and Slayer will set this one on target. Pause up now, 90 seconds away from being champions.
Pop up over, trying to get the pitch. No, I can't get the cross right there. Back over into the orange side. Demo on out. It's going to completely slow down and decimate the pressure of Creation Station. They're trying to create. They're not even allowed to create, okay? I would say you want to start building something, but there's no starting point right now. Can't get the pitch right there for Keeters. Peaky trying to get the pickup stripped away by Slayer. Now over to the left side corner. Hot shot off the sidewall. The carry on across. The bump is there. No! Can't get the redirect. Denied by his own teammate. Honestly... I understand exactly why, but no, man, I do too.
It's an unfortunate situation that, you know, we don't see a closer game 5, but to be fair, Pause Up have been dominant in this final bracket, and even though they may have one blemish this series, don't take it away from them. This has been a long time coming. Last season, they couldn't get through the semifinals. This season, they will go all the way. And unfortunately for Creation Station, 2 straight seasons as they make it to the championship. It'll be 2 straight seasons they lose 4-1 in such a match. Their run ends here. They'll have to settle for second place, but for Pause Up, they'll be the last champions of the Ascend Tournament Series here in the Pinnacle Cup, sponsored by Soraxus Networks Inc. 4-1. It is 12-1 this entire bracket. Pause Up dominated the competition, and no one will take it away from them. Champions of ATS Season 6.
Man, it's just wild right now. Pigeon, he's already dead, buddy. Let it happen. You guys don't need it. Thank you, Peaky. Get that one on out of there. That's going to hit the 0 timer. That's going to be the final game of the Ascended Tournament Series as a whole. That puts it away, Sporty. And wow, what a way to close it out, too.
Yeah, what a way to close it out. Pause Up, dominance in all matches in this final bracket. And to be fair, coming in this thing, a lot of people had them winning this whole bracket, and for good reasons. Those good reasons, you saw all of them here in this grand finals, even against, you know, a team as good as Creation Station. Creation Station, who looked better than I've ever seen them before. They don't stand up a match to Slayer, Taco Stash, and Pigeon. 4-1 will be the ending here. If you take a look at our bracket, one last time, congratulations to Pause Up. They really made this bracket look easy. That's not an easy thing to do, because there's been some good competitions, and in a season that has been close, when you saw it on day 1, Pause Up ran through everyone they've played against.
You know, a dominating performance, okay? 4-0, 4-0, 4-1. Huge shout out to Creation Station getting the one off, okay? 4 O's across the board for Pause Up, proving that they weren't going to allow that to happen, but Creation Station did make it happen. The one game that we did see Creation Station just bring it on back, look dominant. It felt like a very neutral game. It was a slow down, control the pace. Right now, there was no way of controlling that Pause Up pace, okay? How do you reel this team in is going to be the big question going forward, and maybe going over to Royalty Series.
Yeah, you said it as well. Next season being on the Royalty Series. Man, I don't know what else to say except, I mean, what an ending to our season. It may have been a bit of a shorter grand finals than I think everybody wanted, but boy, what a time it has been here. ZekVexol, congratulations to Pause Up, and let's get our off base back in to have some comments as well on this series and how things have gone through. Our off base, after seeing everything today, maybe seeing a more one-sided finale than maybe we were expecting. Pause Up win, Creation Station takes second place, and the Ascend Tournament Series ends on, I must say, an absolute high note.
Oh, it's been amazing watching them play. Hold on. I'm gonna hold this against both of you guys. I'm the only one I think on the desk that had Pause Up winning this one. I knew it was gonna be a dominant win. I think I gave too much credit, even still, to the Creation Station. I thought it was going to be a 4-2. It was a 4-1 for them. But yeah, definitely, especially with Pigeon coming in, I don't think that Creation Station really stood a chance.
Man, I was looking at that too. When Pigeon came out swinging, I think that was one of the big defining factors for me is what Pigeon were we going to get? If I got yesterday's Pigeon even, I was going to be like, okay, I do feel like a lot more leaning towards Creation Station. If I didn't get Pigeon at all, I was like, yeah, this is going to be Creation Station. The Pigeon I got today was a Pigeon that I see over on the RLCS stage. I ain't gonna lie, okay? That was a dominant performance. That was very well done by Pigeon. Very well done by the entire team of Pause Up.
Yeah, I love that as well. Pause Up played well, but before we talk about Pause Up a little bit more, let's talk about Creation Station. They struggled in that series. I think everybody struggled against them, but credit where it's due. They're the only team in this final bracket that even put up a hand up to Pause Up. Credit where it's due. Creation Station, they were fighting against mountains, but they absolutely played well. They made things tough, and really the only team in this final bracket I think that made Creation Station sweat a little bit.
I've been watching this Creation Station roster back when they were Bezzy needs a PC. Shout out to Bezzy in the chat as well. Glad he got that PC for him going. I watched them switch over to this Creation Station roster. I've seen their growth across multiple different leagues throughout the Ascend Tournament Series as well, across these seasons. Watch them in the grand finals in the last one against 100x9. Watch them just yesterday take on Knight and overcome that obstacle. To me, I think that was a feat alone, okay? Being able to knock down Knight, the people who have been kind of this sworn enemy for you. I mean, I feel like anyone who's the runner-up to the grand champion like that, meeting at any point during a season, it is a rivalry at that point. Being able to knock down your rival and find yourself in the grand finals, huge shout out to them for doing that. I felt like in that final matchup, there was a little bit of a disconnect. They weren't able to really ground themselves, and I think just taking a moment to take a breather would have done them wonders.
Well, speaking of Creation Station and Pause Up, let's talk about Pause Up. Joining us here right now is Slayer and Spooky. Congratulations. Last season, you fell a bit short in the semifinals, Slayer. This season, you're champions of the Ascend Tournament Series. Congratulations on your win. Congratulations on your victory. How does it feel to be ATS champion? Because I think this has been a long time coming for you guys.
No, it's good. It's good. It's exciting. I mean, we've been playing in this 2 seasons now. It's been a good league for us just to get some reps in and play and even have it broadcasted. So it's been good, and yeah, no, it was nice to finally close it out.
Man, watching you guys put on a very, very well played performance here. I mean, if you look back over at our previous season where you guys were Shawnee State University there with Spooky. Spooky, how you doing? Well, thanks for coming on in. Now transitioning into this new season, okay? Spooky coming back. I'm going to even say off of that previous season to play with your team once again, to be one of the prime reasons they made it into this grand finals, to win this grand finals. I mean, that's got to feel like a little bit of a pat on the shoulder, a big old pat on the shoulder yourself, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting in the dorm ready to watch from Twitch chat, and I ran, literally sprinted on the road through the snow to come play. Quite fast. I'm sure the cars were quite confused as to why I was sprinting down the road, but I came, no warm up, hopped in, and got the business done. Eh?
The warm was the run. I got you. I see you.
I'm sure you really need to warm up anyway, Spooky. Yeah, that definitely was a great series. I think that this question is going to be more so for you, Spooky. You had to, for the most part, watch your team play in this entire playoff bracket. It was very fun to watch them. It was pretty dominant. How would you at least say, from your perspective, how do you think your team performed up to this point? At least from a teammate perspective, not from a spectator perspective.
Yeah, I mean, my team is all grinders, man. We're just brothers at the end of the day, so we kind of just vibe together. And same with Pigeon, we brought him in. He just kind of vibed with them, got the job done. But I mean, that's all we do. We just vibe, we grind the game, we play, and we execute. That's what we're best at.
Yeah, definitely gotta agree on this one. I think this one is gonna be more towards you, Slayer. Definitely, it was a great series overall. Each and every single time that we were able to see you guys play. There were a couple blips, I guess you could say. Especially for that Creation Station series. How did y'all feel after having to suffer through that overtime? Because that one was close. I don't think y'all really let the foot off the gas there, but definitely, I guess you say, did get away from you guys a little bit there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's always going to be some ups and downs. I mean, for us, we're just trying to get used to the flow again and getting used to playing with each other. But I mean, the other team had some good opportunities. We weren't really able to kind of capitalize on all of the opportunities that we had in that game, and it kind of showed. But I mean, the only thing you can think about in that moment is just taking one step at a time and just kind of not getting too rattled by it and just get ready to try and put one back in the net. So.
You guys weren't rattled at all. You know, I'm going to throw one back to you, Slayer, if you don't mind, okay? I kind of considered you the dad of this roster, okay? That comment has been come up. It was coined by Sporty, I'll say that, okay? But it has come up multiple times, and I have definitely restated it myself, all right? When I was watching you guys over on day one with this Pigeon, Taco Stash, Slayer roster, it felt like Pigeon and Taco Stash were kind of doing their thing, and you were the voice of reason and the car of reason out there on the pitch, making sure that the ball didn't go too far back. We had a deepest man downfield, that control piece that your roster needed, while the other two decided to be the run and gun, run around and have fun like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. Fast forward into this day, into day number 2, okay? And it felt like you took on a little bit more of a shooting role over in that game 1 scenario in the semifinals, and I really loved seeing that. I felt like I saw a little bit more of you on that forward end in a little bit more of a present position. But then all of a sudden, you know, that grand finals came around and we did see Pigeon do his thing once more with Taco Stash, that wombo combo, and you just being a facilitator, okay? How would you describe your role on the team, comms-wise, on the field-wise?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely a good insight right there and good question. I think, especially for me, no matter what team I'm on, especially when, you know, we switch from playing with Spooky to Pigeon, like obviously roles are going to change a bit, and kind of just my job is just to try and do whatever's best for the team. So if that means I got to be a little bit more offensive, try to slot my shots, then that's what happens. And I mean, even when I was trying to do that in the semifinals, there's a few games, I think I won one game, I had a bunch of shots and didn't even capitalize. So it's interesting, but you know, like I said, you got to try to do what's best for the team. So and adapt. So for me, obviously, when you have someone like Pigeon step in, I mean, I'm just trying to feed him the ball, let him cook, and then you know fill in the blanks and fill in the gaps, and that's all I got to do, and kind of makes my job easy no matter what team I play with. And yeah, I mean, it's just a selfless act from everyone, and I just try to adapt around whatever's needed.
Well, both of you have definitely done just that. Champions of ATS, the Season 6 Soraxus Networks Inc. Pinnacle Cup is yours. Congratulations to both of you, Slayer and Spooky. Of course, before we go into a little bit of shoutouts, a little last moment here for all of you, we got to announce our playoffs MVP. Last season, of course, Analytics Knight won their second championship. Of course, you guys were able to now take the championship here away from them. And our MVP for the playoffs will be Taco Stash, the one person who, of course, is in the interview. But Taco Stash does get it after all. We could not ignore the fact that he was the leader of the offense tonight. And yesterday as well, Taco Stash gets that MVP award. Before we end things up, though, let's get some quick shoutouts for from both of you. Some final messages for all of your fans out there and for everybody who's watching, because you guys have a good amount of fans watching you here tonight. We'll start with Spooky. We'll go to Slayer. So, Spooky, do you have any shoutouts? Any last comments you want to make? Anything else you want to say to kind of cap off a Season 6 that you guys ran above Supreme?
Just shout out my teammates, man. I appreciate them for letting me come in and go undefeated with them in the regular season, and you know, called me up in that semifinals match. I mean, you know, like my name says, glory to God. At the end of the day, He's allowed me to play this great game and play it at a high level. So appreciate them and appreciate everyone else for the support as well.
Of course, we'll now move things to Slayer. Slayer, we didn't get this chance last season. You guys lost the semifinals. This season, you get to bask in all the glory. Do you have anything you want to say? Any shoutouts of your own?
Yeah. First and foremost, obviously, you wouldn't be here without God. I mean, it's a good day. It's a good day every time you wake up. So, no, it's been blessed. I mean, honestly, shout out to you guys running this amazing show. I know that there may be some kind of like merger going on here, or transfer of tournaments here. But yeah, no, ATS has been great to us. I've been very happy and blessed to be able to play some of these matches and the whole league and playoffs. And obviously, shout out to anyone supporting us, my family back home watching, my girlfriend, and yeah, no, it's been amazing.
Well, I appreciate the nice compliments as well here. Slayer, Spooky, congratulations to you and to PAWS Up. Have an amazing rest of the night. Go celebrate with everybody else. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are waiting for you guys. Enjoy it. Make sure you guys don't freeze to death in the snow. But other than that, have an amazing rest of the night. Congratulations. The championship is yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Araufbeastrl, ZekVexol, what a night it has been. We have had 3 matches complete, and a championship. This ends ATS and ATS as a whole. Of course, as mentioned before, we are merging with the Royalty Series. Even Slayer mentioned it in our interview. We are merging with the Royalty Series for Season 7. Signups are open in the Royalty Series server. Go join their Discord server. Go get involved. Signups open. 1s, 2s, 3s are all open. NAEU, all rank levels are included. If you like what you see in ATS, you're going to like what you see in the Royalty Series. Signups close late February, early March. So you got a month, but that month's going to go by very quickly. I know it will go by very quickly, but before we go, we got to have a couple more thank yous as well. Of course, thank you, Araufbeastrl, ZekVexol, who are here, to all of the analysts and casters who have been here as well throughout the entirety of this thing. I almost said ZekVexol, to Nick NCS. Zek, you only get one thank you, Zek.
No, I'll take more.
To Nick NCS, who has been doing production for us all night and really for the entirety of the playoffs. To, of course, the amazing casters and casting team that we had, to our amazing staff, to our admins as well, to our graphic design artists in the past, to our directors, old and new, to Kyle, who has been helping make our back end, our sheets, to John KB, who's been doing a lot of our professional stuff. He's been doing great with the business side of things, as well, of course, to Thrifty and to Meister, who've been directors in the past, who actually are founders along with me in the Ascend Tournament series. Thank you to all of you, but really, most importantly, thank you to Rocket League, and thank you to all of you who have been watching. This league would not have been around for these many years without the support of the people watching. And of course, thank you to Royalty Series, who we will be moving into and serving next. To all of you out there, thank you so much. To, of course, to all the amazing people who have made this thing happen, to the people who've seen here, who've watched here, who've played here, who have been here. Thank you so much. Again, Araufbeastrl, ZekVexol. I'm going to let you guys have some time to speak, let you guys have some final comments on tonight as a whole and ATS and its long history. We'll start with Araufbeastrl. Do you have anything you want to say, any comments to conclude not just ATS, not just ATS Season 6, not just what we have done here, but really the history of Rocket League esports as a whole?
Man, this is the weird thing. I didn't even really join that early. I think my first season being here was in Season 5, only last season. And it was as a caster. It's been fun being here, man. Like, it's just fun watching all the funny characters that we have here from all the players and stuff like that. And even just watching all the matches, it's just an absolute blast seeing everybody being able to try and play the peak Rocket League we know we can play. And even here with the caster supporting, you've been great, Zek. You've been great as well. It's just an absolute fun time here.
Of course, ZekVexol. Now is the end of ATS. Do you have anything you want to say? I know there's way too many words to say to conclude what ATS has been, but can you at least make it concise? Can you tell us kind of what you're feeling right now, what you have to say?
I will. Sporty, I've been working with you and ATS here for the past 2 years now, almost, since mid-2024. It's been an exciting run to see all the growth of the players, seeing players move up divisions, seeing more divisions, seeing a whole lot of more competition coming on into the scene. I'm really excited to see where it's going to be growing from. And since my last hashtag ain't going to be going out on Twitter, enjoy my new one. ATS is dead. It's going to go out. Make sure to retweet that one and post it around. Funny little meme hashtag.
It may be dead, but it won't be forgotten here. I guess I have to say something now, of course. Thank you to everybody who has been making this what it is. And seriously, I've been here, since the very beginning, since our founding back in July of 2023 with the initial events that we have ran, if I'm not wrong, the LDC Invitational, even before ATS was around, that invitation was made. Of course, thank you to 50 once more for even giving me this opportunity. If you didn't know, this league was initially run by 135 Esports, and boy, since then I have grown so much. I have learned so much. I have been here for years. I'm so happy to see this league, end on such a high, be in such a good spot. And of course, I can't wait to see what Royalty Series will do with it next. It has been an amazing, amazing time. So seriously, thank you all. I'm getting a little emotional because I hate to see my league, run. But all good things must come to an end. I can't wait to see what Royalty Series does next. And seriously, just thank you all. You all have been amazing. You all have been lovely. Everyone that has been here to support this thing has been the absolute best ever. I would not trade ATS and what has been for anything else. So seriously, to all of you, thank you very much. And to everyone who's been watching, thank you very much. This concludes the Ascent Tournament Series in its entirety in the league's run. Thank you all so much for joining, for watching, for supporting, for playing, and for being here. We'll go offline for the inevitable future, but reminder that World Series will be open in March. We'll be back again under a different name, under a different banner, but we'll still be there. Have an amazing night, everyone. Enjoy the off season. We can't wait to see you in World Series Season 7.
Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice, tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unfolding.